Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Red Wagon Inn, and we have a full cast this time. What did I miss, and why is Brie and Jakey having a hard time? Either way, so glad to have all of you join us for tonight. Look, it's the boy Jakey back, and he's a driver now. He's you can see him on the road in Canada anytime he goes around. Honk at him, run into him. You know, that's what you got to do. You got to really immerse yourself into driving culture, at least American driving culture, though you are Canadian. Glad to have everybody in for us. We have an exciting bunch of stuff to happen tonight. We also have an exciting bunch of inspo and GFY talk to do. Our crew leveled up last time. It's just going to be a good time around. So glad to have you on here. It's the Jakey, and glad to have him back, and the full crew. So does anybody have anything they need to shill before we get started? We're not known for that. Oh, actually, we aren't known for that. Good. We've got no shilling stuff. Then watch more Red Wagon Inn. That's the shill. Great. We have a few pieces of art, most of which is 3 pieces that came from Rain. Rain made Ruckus in a little red wagon, and then their kids painted, or not painted, but colored him in different ways, and I think it's really cute. So look at Ruckus. I like the gold Ruckus personally, or maybe it's aged bone, but I think it's fantastic. So thank you, Rain, for making those. Thank you again, everybody who participated in Intober, because we also have standings. Arcane compiled all of the standings for what everybody wanted to give for inspos and GFYs. I have some thoughts about these standings, but let me go ahead and show them up on here. So you'll see everybody's inspos and everybody's GFYs, and then all of the inspos that they got via Intober and all of the GFYs that they got for Intober. If you will notice, really look at the numbers there. Look at who all got GFYs. It's very easy to tell who is the favorite here. And it's not me, but that's okay. Maybe it just means that you all need some help, because I'm the only one who got GFYs. Yeah. That's it. I'm sure.
Yeah, you're too low on the average.
That's fair. I mean, I don't do anything GFY worthy, so I have to get them this way, I guess.
But I mean, if we just cancel out the numbers, that's how we can get like a good ratio. And let me tell you, my ratio is 1, baby.
Let's just make sure we also specifically state that those GFYs are for Ritter.
Oh yeah, it was mentioned that
specifically Ritter.
One of the GFYs was for Ritter, but then the other one was directed at me from Strong Earth. So, yeah.
I did not realize that Jake was sitting on 10 GFYs, and something really bad's gonna happen.
That's okay. Jackie's got 21 good, so she's about to have something very good happen to cancel it all out, you know? But also a huge hype train going. So thank you to Verity, Isn't She Classic, By Any Other Name, all the people throwing out subs. I think I saw another one that I missed in the very beginning, but all the people throwing out subs to people, y'all are all nice people, and so glad to have you going. We have a token giveaway for tonight. We've got a lot of inspos and GFYs. We're only going to do 1 token tonight. It'll be a good one. It'll be towards the end of the session. So be excited for that. But this might be the earliest we get to start doing our roll for recaps. Jakey missed a few, so he doesn't have to roll. However, Jake, if you want to roll and you want to give somebody and force them to do the recap, absolutely will allow it.
I got a 2, so.
I got a natty 20. I'm starting it off real good.
18!
15, 18.
In front of my face, I think.
Jakey, what do you have?
An 8.
An 8? Well, Jake might be deciding.
I got a 5.
Oh, it is Jakey deciding. Jakey, who's your favorite storyteller? Who do you want to regale you with what happened? And since Jakey's been gone, let's give a good recap. Let's do since Jakey left, since Ordell had left the party, everything that's happened related to the first Cloudmaker.
This is them sprinting, and then we start immediately with, oh, so that's what happened, like classic sitcom style. I'm going to roll a d6. So I'm just doing like your numbers. So Drew is 1, Brie is 2, Jakey is 3. I'm 4, but I'm just going to re-roll, and then Alex is 5, and you're 6, Rybo. That's a 1. Drew, it's you. Congratulations on your own Dicey Encounters dice.
My dice have betrayed
me. Also, yes, we did miss the shill for Winter Warlock. Go check that out in the Discord. We're basically doing White Elephant, but it's for Discord and Red Wagon Inn stuff. So go check that out. Shill over. Drew, regale us with a tale.
So, starts off with the group all together, with Comet and all the friends and everything, and then Ordell and Elijah and the Rangers. They're gonna go on their own adventure, and the rest of the group's gonna go on their own adventure. And so Ordell and friends blip off over to their Cloudmaker, and the others go to their Cloudmaker, and come to find out, Ordell's team smashes through it, no problem, easy peasy. They're like, yeah, just go into the hull of the ship, blow it up, you're good to go. Other team did not have as fun of a time trying to destroy this, as we didn't really have firepower behind us, quite literally. And so the group gets inside. They start messing with the lever. Well, before they get inside, Emma almost dies because she almost gets sucked up into the machine, and a whole fun thing of that. Anyways,
All sucked up. You almost jumped into it on Jackie's behest. Just FYI.
Am I totally out of it? Isn't that 2 episodes ago? Didn't we start this episode as it was?
No.
out?
I'm saying doing a recap since Ordell had left. Yeah.
I'm awake.
So
jeez, Alex,
killing it.
get your shit together.
God, man, I can't.
Yeah, Alex, if you could open up that note and read it to the class, please.
So, anyways, after murking this farmhand on the floor who goes off, they get up into the machine. Ashrin pulls the lever. Things shut down on the machine. The group goes up, and they split, with XC and Emma staying down on the bottom, and Ritter, Ashrin, and Winter going up top. Emma and XC, they find out, hey, whoa, there's vampire spawn, and it's coax, dun dun dun. And Emma's like, yo, here's my daylight shield, and like burnt him to a crisp. And then they're like, we gotta run. And then the other guys are running, and then things are happening. And all of a sudden, after this big fight, Ashrin's like, yo, I'm gonna pull this other lever. And she does, and she pulls the other lever, and we all go into free fall to the ground, and it's terrifying. And we're all like, oh no, this is the cliffhanger. And then we get back from the cliffhanger, and things, it hits the ground, but everybody survived okay, except for when the fire starts, and the other 3, they get out, and then XC and Emma are like, we're gonna have to make this jump. And then they go to make the jump, and then Emma doesn't make the jump, and she falls into the fire, and XC's like, yo, wait, I'll join you in the fire. And then they both go into the fire, and then they try and crawl out a hole. And Emma's on fire, and she's like, shit, this hurts. And she crawls out of another hole, and she jumps out. And then XC's like, I'm thick, and I got stuck in a hole, and I'm gonna turn into this cube, and turns into the cube. And then Winter's like, oh no, there's a flaming Emma falling from the sky. I better levitate. And she casts levitate and catches Emma, who's on fire, and is like, I'm burning to death. And so she lifts her back up to get XC, and they get XC, and then Emma dies due to fire damage, outright dead. And then they get to the ground, and XC's like, wait a minute, and then shoots Emma in the face with a magical revivified bullet, and brings Emma back to life. And then,
man, you really buried the lead there. You just said, like, XC shoots Emma in the face with a revivified bullet.
And then after that, they're like, hey, we need to rest up, because we talked to Ordell and them, and we're like, yo, what are you doing? And Ordell's like, what are you doing? And we're like, not that kind of call. And so they find out that they're over in the mountains, and we're like, cool, I got a teleportation scroll, we can get you. And then the rest of the group's like, we should take a nap. And so they take a nap, and then they end up where Ordell and gang are. And then after that, they start making their way over to the next cloud machine. But hark, what is that above our heads? It's a dragon. And the group's all like stealthy, sneaky, and they get by the dragon, and I think that's where we left off.
Riddle me this.
So 2 other things. First of all, great recap. But 2 things, because I don't think Ordell was there for why Emma turned purple, even though Jakey made the art.
It was all like, I don't need you, patron. And then her deity's like, yeah, get lost, bitch. And get rid of her.
And
Yeah.
Saw that
someone
very mutual exchange.
and someone else came, your deity, or at least a vision of them came by and said, "Hey, congrats, you're a full part of the club now. We like that." And he was a nice guy, and that was great.
Yeah. Super cool, dude.
But
What a
then,
cool ring and everything.
yeah, you got a whole new ring. And then, as Alex said, riddle me this. What was the last thing that happened?
Oh yeah, we found the Moss Hound again.
Yeah.
He's all like, "Yo, you want to play a game again?" And we're like, "No, get out of here, Saw." And
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, guys. The Moss Hounds puzzles are so fun.
Also,
Yeah, but
all
we're
of my
also
dead
on
are
a-
dead. All of
Oh,
my dead are dead.
Oh yeah,
no,
every
that's the thing.
every zombie that she revived. But also, to pause. So first of all, great recap. Inspo to Drew, claps around.
Mm-hmm.
But I gave Jakey a brief recap before we started, saying like, "Hey, here's what's going on." And so Jakey's reaction to the Riddle Hound right now, far less than what he said to me. He said, "Those bitches didn't even do it."
Absolutely, I did.
Absolute
That was a mixture of
cowards.
Ordell saying that and me.
Well, maybe it's because Odell just had a super chill weekend with his friends and we all nearly died.
Mm.
We were like,
Mm.
not today.
We did give the Moss Hound a riddle though.
True.
It's true.
Jackie?
Oh no, weren't we surrounded by bodies where the moss hound was too? We're like, oh wait, a bunch of people died already.
Oh yeah, tons of corpses.
Yeah, I forgot a bunch of stuff. It's okay.
Um,
Thanks for throwing that back out, Jackie. Appreciate it.
great.
Just realize like the depth of our choice. That's all.
Great
Yeah.
recap. You got your inspos. Whoops, I didn't mean to throw that one up. What I did mean to throw up was the GFY standing. Remember, if you were one of the ones that got the reset token, because it was requested, and I think that's fair, if you do the resets, you're going to reset everything that wasn't an Intober inspiration, because all those people worked very hard on the Intobers, and it makes sense that they should get to keep them in. So I'm going to write those inspos and GFYs in as we get going here, so you might see that pop up on the screen because I need to show it. I was just waiting to see if anybody was resetting anything. But from players, since you all leveled up, and for everybody else to be aware, I need everybody's passive perception and AC before we get started. So let's start with Emma. What's your passive perception and AC?
20.
20
And then 18.
18. Ashrin.
I'm not just loading my character sheet right now. Oh,
Winter.
14 and 18. 14,
Okay.
18.
14, 18. XC.
17.
17, 17. Ordell.
22-18.
22, 18.
Look at Emma and
Perfecto.
Ordell
And
seeing everything.
Winter.
Just before I say this, I just want to point out that I have a lot of other really great qualities.
She's got a great personality.
15 passive perception, and my AC is 13
With mage armor or without?
with mage armor.
With mage armor, good.
I have a shield. It's fine. Yeah.
Good. Right. So yeah, with everybody's inspos and GFY standings, I will add those as we get going, but I'll go ahead and get started for us today. But if we do the resets, just let me know. I will just take off the original inspos and GFYs and give them their new one. But yes, anybody who had 10 inspos, you can claim those, and next time we get some loot, you'll have some really nice loot directed specifically
Still
for you.
stands. If you give it to Jackie, I will end you. I will find you.
The reset of one of the whole
Oh.
magic items.
Man, why would you say that, Drew? Because if I was one of them and you said that, I don't know if this is just me being an antagonistic kind of person. I'd be like, I really want to give it to Jackie.
Don't tell me what to do, Drew.
Fuck you, Drew. Fuck you and your thoughts. I'm giving it to Jackie. But also don't.
You're not my mom, Dad.
I like that.
I was about to say something and I feel like it just antagonized them more. I'm just about to be like, I'll just rack them up again. It's fine.
So
Oh,
cocky.
wow.
Wow.
Okay, well, I take that back. Do whatever you want.
I'm just kidding. It's a lot of. It's all
do
of.
your worst, right? That's exactly.
All right.
Not a lot.
To help you out there. All right.
So, with that, let's go ahead and get started. So, everybody grab a drink, pull up a chair, come hang out with us at the Red Wagon Inn, where I'm going to pull up the map so that everybody is fully aware of where we're at. I've zoomed it in for being able to see the landscape around. So, this cloud maker here, this is in the very center of Old Cora. You are right near Keep Lane Ruins. You all are essentially Where where that kind of mountain ridge is on the bottom right mountain near that machine on the right, you're at the right below that, I guess, final line of the mountain ridge where those trees are right before the ground turns kind of this crimson-y brown, and right above the actual K and E in Keep Lane ruins. So you're not far off from the fire fields at all. You also see the giant Cloudmaker nearby, as that is where we stopped last time. You traverse through the Drakefall Mountains. You luckily hid away from both a cloud jumper and a ton of drakes. So you're lucky that you got there, but hey, you're here now. You made it through. No riddles from the Moss Hound. Everything is hunky-dory. All is as it should be, as in the night you arrive. Sun has set. The clouds have returned over your vision. There is no longer stars and moon to be seen, like where you destroyed the last Cloudmakers. You are now nearest enough this one that you have lost sight of the sky and are back to that roiling red clouded thunder above. As such, it has made nights even darker once again, but this could be to your advantage. As you peer through the trees towards the bottom parts of the mountains, you begin to see light in the distance, what at first looks like a great campfire or a field of sparkling fireflies. You notice as you exit the tree line an entire field of what looks like fireflies, before recognizing that that distance is miles off and you shouldn't be able to see that light at all. You begin to see pops of fire some 2-3 miles off from your location, and you can hear the loud humming to the north west of you from where the Cloudmaker is. You can't see it. It is a little bit behind one of the mountainous ridgelines, but the sound is unmistakable. It sounds very similar to the last one, a big, great Inception-style humming as the clouds are generated and flown upwards from your location. It's just a little bit over that ridge line before you're going to be able to get a better look at that Cloudmaker, but you all sit here at the edge of the forest debating on what you want to be doing going forward. Ritter and Rook offer to go and take a little bit better of a look. I'm a poet and I didn't even know that I was one, before the rest of the group has to go up and I guess make themselves known, since they are the more stealthy of the crew. Ritter says, I haven't been to the fire fields in some time, but if they're anything like they were before, they're quite dangerous, and they have many, and he holds his hands up in air quotes, farmhands that work on these fire fields. So it's best that we keep a low profile, stick as close to the Cloudmaker as possible, and try not to be seen. I don't know what influence Ignis has here, and it'd be best if we're not to be spotted until we absolutely have to make our mark.
Okay, so we sneak. We sneaky. And then Ordell is, I mean, obviously amazing at this, so it should be pretty easy, right? You seem to do the last one in like, an hour or two.
Oh yeah, it was sick. Elijah and I also made catchphrases while we did it. It was rad. It was a whole thing we did. Man, you would have loved to see it, but it's an us thing as I dap up Elijah.
Both of you kind of knuckle touch. He says, "Fire brothers." To the very end, we came up with that too.
I mean, we also shared some pretty interesting inside jokes. Remember, Ash, how we watched them for a little? That was funny.
Yeah. Sorry, asshole.
Man, yeah, that's so funny.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go take a look at it with Rook. Anybody else wants to come get a Vantage before we figure out what to do tonight or in the morning, come with me.
I will join you.
Ritter pulls his bow out, and Rook unsheathes his dagger as they kind of nod and get XC to follow along, moving up the ridge line to get a better vantage point.
Just as I'm leaving, I turn back to Emma. Will you be okay?
Yeah.
And then I join Ritter.
XC, you climb up the ridge, not too dissimilar to, if I don't know if you can, Alex, at the, like a press of a button, make your face disappear. Purely because your background is so perfect, honestly.
Actually, I can do this.
Perfect. Get out of here, Alex. Well, so there is XC sniped up on the ridgeline here, as the field before is barren and crag-like. You can bring your face back. It's too pretty to go without for too long. As you, Ritter, and Rook crawl your way up to the edge of this ridge on the mountain, and you can see before you something looks different. This cloud maker doesn't look at all like the one you saw before. The one that you saw previously floated on its own and hovered around the field collecting dirt and rock. This one has stands or an almost tripod-like shape. It has legs that aim upwards like a spider, 3 legs that hold it up into the air. It is sucking up some dirt from the bottom. However, there is also a ramp that seems to lead up into the cloud maker. Roll me a perception check.
Of course.
As you begin looking at things,
21.
21. You see what looks to be several farmhands, much like the one that you saw before, with overalls kind of half slown on and really thick leather pants, carrying crates of some glowing red material before a sudden jet of fire moves up from the crate. You're about half a mile off, so you can't see exactly what's going on, but it can best be described as almost like a small dragon shooting fire, or like like the mini dragons from Harry Potter, just a little gust of fire from inside the crate. He kind of recoils for a second before continuing up the ramp towards the top of this cloud maker. Rook says, "This isn't anything like what we saw. Ours had great tubes that spewed onto the ground and picked up the earth. This is different."
Likewise, ours was very similar to yours in description.
It had 2 arms that kind of patrolled onto the ground and sucked them up as if it was walking upon them, but the tower itself floated freely. This one stands on the ground, and they're bringing more things into it besides the earth. This is worrisome.
Just quickly, Ryan.
Yeah.
This tower, if we look at the map, is kind of the central of the 4, right? You've got like down, top, and then this
Yep.
one's kind of...
There's about 3 around it, and this one's pretty close to the center.
Yeah.
What's the diameter of the legs, Ryan?
You're not up there because you didn't go with them, but if you do
What's
go
the
up
diameter
there,
of the legs, Ryan?
they're big. They themselves would be maybe about 30-40 feet in diameter of just solid stone and metal that protrude themselves upward. It's a pretty good image of the actual map there. So I'm going to put the map back up. If you imagine, honestly, that is a pretty good image of what it looks like with these 3 kind of pillars that hold it up off the ground, except where that has floating rock on it, this is thoroughly, those legs are entrenched into the ground, and it's only the actual machine itself that's elevated off the ground. You see also what seems to be an almost line of people, one maybe every 100 yards or so, that seems to constantly be moving from the fields far to your west over towards this tower. Okay, well, this
feels...
good.
This feels like potentially the central base of operations.
It is, at least seems like... I don't know, this is so different than the last one. This has so many people here. The one by Rockbeak was essentially unmanned besides the people inside. And
Perhaps we should talk this over with the entire group.
Let's go back down. We can bring them up to the ridgeline if they need to see. As Ritter agrees and kind of begins sliding off of the rock, heading downwards. Rook seems to pause for a moment, observing the landscape a little bit longer before following behind and returning to the group. as the rest of the party awaits Ritter's, XC, and Rook's return, you begin to hear the sound of sliding rock from the ridgeline before you see the 3 scouts return. Ritter says, okay. Things are different. For better, for worse, I don't know, but there's far more people around than this time, than the last one. And it looks different. It doesn't float on its own. It even sounds different than the one that Rook described. Ordell, this one, and he begins describing exactly what I talked about earlier. He says, Rook mentioned yours was different. It almost had like suction tubes, separate free-floating ones that would move to the ground. The one we saw floated on its own. It had no extended tubes at all. It seems all of these work slightly differently. That's troublesome.
I mean, based on what you're describing, it's probably due to the climate they're placed in this area. If there's heat, probably needs to be somewhere that can withstand heat or technology that can.
Based on the geographical locations of the 4 towers, this is the most central tower. So perhaps this might be the central point.
And we should take all the more care. This could be the most dangerous one of our journey as well. Which could be good. We could be downhill from here. Perhaps once we get through this one, the rest will be easy.
Emma,
Perhaps we attack the other one first then.
Winter, go ahead.
Emma, do you still have the bodies that you took? Do you remember? I know you've had a bit of a clean out because, relocation, which can be tough. But I know that you were keeping some bodies in the bag. Is that correct? Because I at some point I do believe that you had the architect that worked on these machines in your collection of dead.
A collection of heads turn from Rook and his rangers towards Emma.
Emma slow drinks. Just real awkward, like
It rolls down you.
I still have excuse me, I still have Imri's body, and I have one other left. That's all I have.
Was it? I know that we had discussed having to keep that individual in the deceased condition that he was in, so that if we had further questions about the machines, then we could ask him. But I'm not sure if we still have him. Is he the other one that you have?
Yes, I still have Imre and another body.
Okay. Well, we could
Do you want to talk to him?
We could have a
Emma
little
pulled his
chat.
skull up out of the bag.
Can I speak with Zed, Ryan, and have a little chat to our architect friend?
Depends. Emma, did you ever do, I forget the name of the spell specifically, but the one that prevents being revived or any sort of...
Gentle repose.
Yeah, gentle repose. Decomposing of the body, because that also prevents speak with dead.
No.
Cool.
Not on Emery.
Okay, so it's been a long dead corpse for a while, so it was
In a
smelly
bag
even
of holding
before.
with no air. To speak of.
Yeah, it's fine. As the only thing getting in
Sorry,
the
is Emery the
water bears.
Is Emery the guy that we?
Yeah,
Yes.
Emery's the
Is
one.
this
that
who
you're
I'm
talking about.
remembering?
Yeah.
I remember the stuff. Hey, I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to chat about the differences in these machines, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to answer Jakey's thing in the chat as well, asking if you found bodies. Probably yes. However, with these last ones, you blew pretty much everything up. But we can make a note that that's something that you want to kind of do in the future. Go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Side
could I
note,
roll?
We took the bag of holding with us.
Yeah, we
when
had
we
it.
left.
That's
Oh,
true.
okay.
You did give it to them.
That's where these bodies are, right?
Yeah.
And it's been very canon that you and Elijah really just kind of got in and got out with that one. There were people in there, but you
Yeah.
didn't even bother with it. As so,
I had an army when you left.
so yeah, Emma, if you want to start pulling out Emery's corpse, that's totally possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Winter, as Emma pulls out the body, again, you get several looks from Rook's crew before laying it out basically into a pile of bones, not a full laid out skeleton, but you do set the skull right on top of a small mound. As Winter, you kind of squat down to get eye to eye with the skull there and can do your magic if you'd like.
I would. So I would like to kneel down and I want to kind of position the bones so that Emery looks comfortable. Just like maybe we're having a little tea party type situation. I want him to feel at ease because, he doesn't get to go out often. So I'll get all of that organized and then go, okay, all right, are you ready? And then I'll start to just get ready for a chat.
Are you casting the spell or writing in the book?
I'm casting the spell.
Cool. So you sit there, cross your legs onto the ground next to the bones, sit straight of back, trying to be as proper and as tea-partied as possible. Everyone gives you a bit of space before you pull out your regular spell book, begin chanting the words as your fingertips glow a brilliant green before you touch, just briefly, the skull's head, and the bones kind of shimmer and shake as if a pile of sticks or bones themselves were rattling in response before you see the skull itself open up and kind of crack as it hasn't moved in quite a long time before it seems with magic like an unwilling to aim its head towards you as if awaiting a response.
Hi, Emery. It's very nice to see you. I have a few questions for you about your machines. And now how many questions?
You
I get
5.
five,
Yep.
don't I? Okay. We are about to approach one of your machines. Great job, by the way. They're doing for what they do, performing very admirably. Thank you. We're really proud of your work. However, we would like to destroy it. So this one that we're looking at the moment is a little bit different from the other two. It looks kind of like a giant spider. Is that right, guys? Like a big, weird spider creature with little, flames. How do we take down that particular? Is there anything special we should know about that particular weird cloud? Great invention, but weird cloud machine.
It is no different than the others. You must blow it up from the inside.
Okay. We have to blow it up from the inside. Guys, does anyone want any input? Do we need any special inside information about this?
Why is this different?
Why
is this different?
Why is this one? Is this one? Are there any differences that we should note about this one?
They are all different for the locations that they are required. This one is the centermost and requires the most smoke. As such, it has 2 fuel sources, the earth and the plants from the fire fields.
Okay. How do we safely enter?
Through the front door.
That seems wise. Through the front door.
Maybe we should also know if it's like the same layout. Or I guess actually maybe we'll see that once we get in though. Levers. I learned, I shouldn't even be asking about the levers. I'm just not gonna, never mind. I never asked any. Nope. As I grip my lever in my back pocket to remind me of my discretions.
Okay.
That's actually a good question to ask what the order of the things are, so we actually know what we're supposed to be doing.
How do the levers work?
They turn the machine on, or a function of the machine on, and if you pull them the other direction, it turns them off. Whether that is creating smoke, dispelling the oil, closing the doors, or purging the system. Some of them even float, and that turns that on or off.
Okay. Does anyone feel like this guy is not into answering these questions? He seems kind of annoyed that we. Anyway. Okay,
Your
we've got.
questions are not very succinct. If you ask for a simple answer as opposed to a suggestion or ideology, you will get a direct answer.
Oh.
But what do you want me to ask, XC? I'm asking for input.
I'm glad you added, what do you want me to ask XC? Because now he knows that wasn't directed to him in the final question.
I have already asked you the question I needed.
Does anyone else remember anyone in the party, the people that I knew before today? It was create smoke, closing doors, purging system. Anyone else remember?
Expelling oil, he said. Ritter says.
Thank you.
And
Ritter.
And
Making
making
it
it float or not float. We found that lever.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Anything else, guys, that you want to ask? Anything that?
If anything else, you could always ask him if he still wants us to bring him back eventually.
Oh, Emery, do you still want us to keep you in the bag and bring you back when we can? Still cool with that?
Reanimate. No, not reanimate. What's the other one?
Resurrect.
Reincarnate?
That one.
Reincarnate.
Whatever.
Do you want to come back again as a living individual who doesn't have to answer questions about schematics?
I would very much like to be alive again, to stop what they did to my work and continue it my own way.
Okay, solid. We will definitely do that. Thank you for probably reiterating what we already knew. I do appreciate it.
Midway through your sentence of appreciation, the head no longer has the magic to hold itself up, and since it's relocated in spots, you see it begin to and roll itself off the other pile of bones.
It's always too soon when old Emery has to leave. Well,
Ordell, Emma, and XC catch out of the corner of your eyes all of the unwilling kind of recoiling at the head bouncing off of the bones, and the thought that might be them one day.
It was like collecting. She's like, it's not that bad. I just did it.
Okay, so you were right, Ordell. It's just to deal with a different climate. So
That is incorrect.
What? Why is it incorrect?
Did you not also hear he said this was the central piece, which required more smoke?
Yeah. Yes.
Not just
The-
climate
the-
based.
Well, to be fair, I didn't say only you were right, Ordell.
I still accept being half right. As Odell just kind of like throws his hands up and is leaning back.
You also, good job, XC. You were also right.
Affirmative. I am always right.
Oh, speaking of nothing that matters about anything, here, Ordell. Emma's gonna give back the bag of holding.
Oh, sweet. Did you add a pin on this? It's cute. I like that.
You didn't. Raucus did.
Oh. I don't like it as much.
Oh,
Raucus pulls open the temporary clothes that you're wearing that are not as good as your previous ones, Emma, before glaring at Ordell and says, "Now that I can speak and everybody can hear me freely." Boo. I don't like that. Before closing the curtains of your outfit, Emma.
Wait, how long has Ruckus been able to speak?
Oh,
Since
that's mm,
That's
Don't worry
new.
about it.
It's
Cool.
new.
it was
Like most things, we'll talk about it later. Zordel just closes his eyes and is leaning back.
for Jakey, it was with Emma's transformation.
I kind of figured, yeah. I figured that was one of the changes. I just know Ordell didn't know. But like how the party deals with all issues that trouble us, we'll talk about them later
Yeah.
and repress them.
All for during drink times.
Hmm.
As
Oh,
go ahead.
no, that's fine. I was just gonna say, so I guess the plan is to sneak up as sneakily as possible to the front door and walk in. Is that yeah?
I mean, that's the safest route, he said, right?
Can't see how this plan will go wrong at all.
Think maybe we find a vantage point or the best way in, or see what sort of trouble we're going to have to deal with. Personally, scouting out the area would be ideal. But it's also night. We've had a long day. Let's get some rest. Let's go in with fresh eyes and handle it first thing. We'll keep a scouting party. We're far enough away that we shouldn't be caught here.
Okay. Well, I'll set up Home Sweet Home, and I start casting our strange little hut.
As Winter starts casting, Ritter throws his bow back on over. He says, "Okay, I'm going to go see just to make sure that we have a safe area here. Rook, can you and your crew come with me just to make sure that we span out everywhere? Elijah, you watch the rest of the crew and everyone gets set up for the night. We want to make sure that we're secure here, and then in the morning, with more light, we'll be able to tackle this head on." Rook says, "All right," before grabbing his knives as well as the rest of his rangers, before beginning to head out to go kind of scout the area, leaving just the five of you and Elijah here for a moment. For Elijah finds a small log to sit on. He says, "Oh, I'm aching back." All right, Winter, you and I, we've got our job here. We just gotta pick one thing, find it, blow it up. If there's a door that we can walk right up this time, it's even easier. Ordell, you don't have to jump and fly up with me. This will be fine. It should be the easiest
Head
thing
jumping
we've
was so
done
cool,
left.
though.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. All I did for the last day was just cast a lot of levitate. So I'm looking forward to diversifying, getting back into fire. Getting in touch with my origins.
Getting back
Heck
into
yeah.
fire. I like that saying.
Mm.
Come back to fire.
That's a
Oh.
tattoo.
It's a good one. If I were to get a tattoo, I'd think about that one.
Elijah, if I learn how to do tattoos, can I tattoo you?
With come back to the fire? Sure.
Yeah,
Why
And then
not?
a little flame.
Oh, yeah. I think that'd
Heck
be
yeah.
good. Oh, as he holds out, he pulls the glove off and you see the mark on his hand. This one, right here. Just right across the arm. I saw someone who had a set of barbed wire when I was a sailor once, right across there. It looked very tough. It wasn't
would
real
be
barbed
cool.
wire. It was a tattoo, of course.
Oh, I understand now. But yeah, maybe we could do even like a kind of like a mermaid, or a siren or something, but instead of a tail, like it's fire, like
Oh.
half naked lady and half fire.
Like an Afridi?
Nah.
I wouldn't deface myself with lewd images like that, but the fire I think would be fine. I don't know if the Lord of the Flames would appreciate. Perhaps he would. I don't know the man.
You should pray on it.
I should.
I'm gonna use message. Elijah's have to be like, get a naked flame lady.
Do you try and disguise your voice at all?
Yeah, I try and make it sound like fire.
Roll a deception.
What I think fire sounds like. Oh no. um 21.
As you're setting up for the camp, a few sticks and twigs are set as Elijah begins lighting a fire to get things going here for you to be able to sit at. And as he's doing the spark, you hear you go, "Oh." And every time he hits a spark, you say a different word in his head as he stops for a minute. And he rapidly just kind of throws out with flint and tinder as you say, like, get a naked lady, get a naked lady, get a naked lady. So he's like, he must want it so much. I didn't even have to pray that hard on it. He's been thinking about this for a while. That's weird.
He's
I knew the Lord of
into
Fire was horny.
it.
Some could say he's hot. Or
Oh.
I
Well,
hate
I'll start
conversation.
sketching something up, Elijah. I'll start working on something for you. I mean, it's the one of the divine. We can't fight it.
as Elijah and Winter and kind of Ordell are talking about this naked lady tattoo and the fact that the Lord of Fire likes hot people, it makes sense. Emma, actually, so that would be Emma and Ordell. Ordell, you're kind of laughing as you're sitting on these tipped over trees and logs here as you're speaking with them. But out of the corner of both of your eyes, you see dirt on the ridgeline of the mountain moving. Almost the best way I can describe it, purely because pop culture and having seen it recently, how like the sand moves when the worms move under in Dune, right? It looks like something is crawling beneath the dirt, moving towards the rock of the mountain nearby.
So it's Bugs Bunnying.
Yeah, that's a better descriptor. Bugs Bunnying under the ground.
I was like, this cool Dune description, and the whole time, all I can picture is
Bunny.
someone popping out. Hey, I knew I should have turned it Albuquerque.
Left turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah,
So
I think
is
I
it
just like
coming-
look at Emma, and we do that thing where it's just like,
Is it coming towards us?
It seems to be going. It's not far from you. It must have come within 50 feet of the camp at some point, but it is moving up towards the rock of the mountain.
Do we do anything?
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have the domes. I mean, if there's something moving around, I guess we can just like tell the others when they get back. But like, does it really affect us? Because I feel like us doing something is gonna do more harm than good. Unless you have a cool plan.
Nope, I'm all out of those.
Also, I like the purple. Looks cool.
It's a thing.
Okay.
It's a cool thing.
Do you alert the others, or just kind of keep that knowledge to yourself?
I think we kind of pointed out to everyone, like kind of offhandedly, that that's there. Just like kind of getting the whole mindset of like, there's something moving over there. Keep an eye on it. It's not really a problem right now. When it is like starts to become a problem, be proactive about it.
Elijah preemptively unsheaths his sword and sits with it in his lap. He says, "Don't like that." Don't like
Is
that at all.
the tiny hut active at this point?
You're still in the middle of the ritual, but if nobody is
Okay.
going to do anything about the Bugs Bunny, then yeah. As you continue casting your ritual, eventually a sphere of dirt and rock, essentially camouflaging you into the side of this hill, will be able to hold 8 of the companions, correct? 8? You and 8, or is it 8
Me
total?
and 8.
You,
Me
okay,
and
so
8.
9 people total. So the 6 of you that are currently in it, and then Ritter and Rook and the others will have to figure something out. But you all sit nearest the side of the rock, camouflaged in, except for those who would know of it. But it is still a smooth sphere. Anybody walking too close might be able to tell what it is here. As you are at least protected from anything on the outside world here as you sit at the camp. Slowly, a few of the rangers come back from their patrol Rook and Ritter are still out, but some of the others that have gone the other directions have returned. Some of the other unwilling. One of them even speaks and says, "The earth has moved here. Did you see something move by?"
Yeah, it was a little thing, and it was dirt moved, and
Mm-hmm.
It tells me
I
nothing,
would
but
assume just like Emma Rodell is just like,
Mm-hmm. You know the kids' book Insect Rabbit? How he moves around everywhere?
yeah, I thought it was creepy crawly hair, but insect rabbit, yeah.
is that the one that eats turnips?
Probably different versions and stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think there's some sort of hair that crawls under. If you don't think it's a problem, that's fine, but we'll just watch out for it, I guess. Okay.
I like the Gabby Goose book where they're fighting over if it's goose season or rabbit season. It's good.
Gabby Goose. As the Rangers return, then they sit outside the circle and begin kind of prepping their own little spots with bedrolls nearby. Several of them seem to be notching or creating small arrows. Two of them seem to have crossbows, while others have short bows for ease of stealthy travel. But you see Rook on the ridgeline, and you hear the rocks moving rather quickly as Rook slides down the side of it on one leg, trying to get to you as quick as possible, where he says, "I tried to stop him. He said he wouldn't wait."
Oh, Ritter went off.
They're using labor that is not... They have
Yeah, we've had
raiders
this
and
conversation
slaves.
before. Can I insight check Rook just in case? I know I've been with him, so I don't think he's that sketch, but this feels like a very... Ritter made a promise to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, first roll back aside from the 2, and that's a 24.
24. Rook doesn't appear to have any sort of malice in his voice, only
Okay.
concern for his companion.
Okay, that's what I kind of figured, but just in case. Okay.
He said
Great.
that he's just
Cool.
going to scout it out, but I've seen the look
Yeah.
of a killer in his eyes.
Yeah, and that
Vantage
killer is
is-
going to get killed. How tapped? Like you guys have been like going all day. Are you okay? Are you good? Like if we go now, are you?
I mean, other than talking to Emery, like I'm good. I'm good to go.
Cool. Then let's just run. And I guess stealth is something that we do when we get there because Ritter's going to die. We all in agreement?
Negative.
Your thoughts, XC?
Elijah says, "No, one of our friends is in trouble. We gotta go save him."
We do not know he is in trouble. Blindly running in before assessing if he is in trouble would cause more issues for not only us, but also potentially him.
I actually
He is
agree
very
with
apt
Exy on
at
this.
being quite stealthy. Maybe sending a couple of us who are also stealthy with the Bluetooth device.
I agree with Exy.
Yeah, I agree too.
It's smart, but
We've-
if he
we've
is in
gotta-
trouble and we take too long, could something bad happen?
I mean, I'm sneaky and fast, so, and I feel much faster after the last time we saw each other. I've been doing so many squats, as Ordell like does squats, but he doesn't do them so people can see his form. He's just so you look at his butt.
You do look like you've gotten good at that.
Yeah, so I run, sneak, and then we send like we keep like close. If like Exy and like Rook's crew want to do like a stealthy like perimeter, making sure those who aren't as sneaky aren't detected. And if anyone does detect, we just kill on sight. How's that sound?
I mean, we can't just let Ritter rage out and die. That's not ideal. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right, XE. I don't think that us just barging in is the best idea either. Because they can just look at me and I'll be dead.
I'll protect you.
We'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, exactly. Elijah and Ordell kind of like, you're not gonna get hurt. We've got you. We gotta come through
I dap
us
'em up.
before they get to the rest of everyone. And they're not gonna kill Ritter. We'll make sure of it. Let whoever can go at least scout and see if everything's okay. Go, get going. But we'll be here ready to go
Come on,
at a
XC.
moment's notice.
And
I
I'm gonna-
turn to Winter. Are you able to cast invisibility?
Oh, I haven't. I don't think I've learned about that yet. I can try and study it when we get somewhere, but no, not at the moment. But do you guys remember the motivational death cult speeches that we spoke about earlier in the
I have
day?
time, Winter.
No. But I'm just reminding Ordell about the speech that I gave to him earlier in the day because I don't think he knew about it, just
Jakey,
subconsciously.
Winter has inspiring presence now, so you have 11
Oh,
temp
great.
HP.
11.
Oh, sick.
I turn to
That's
Ordell.
rad.
Do you have an ability to detect invisibility?
No, but I see real good.
Because you have to remember that Ordell, Ritter will most likely be invisible thanks to the ring.
Yep. Cool.
How will we locate him?
I mean, he's pretty sneaky, but like while we were traveling and stuff, like there's been a couple times where I've spotted him at the side, so I don't think it's completely lost. I don't look for Ritter usually. I look for signs of where he's been.
Emma puts her fingers up to her temples and just like rubs them, and she casts Sending to Ritter. What are you doing?
Is that all you ask?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I'm going to get a better look. It seems that they have slaves and raid labor. I'm not going in to do anything. I will be back. Rook should have told you.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Roll-
You
roll an
did the
insight
temple
for
thing.
me,
Did he
Emma.
say anything to you?
Yeah. 17.
17. He sounds, even though it's in his mind, he
Wait,
sounds
What skill was that for? Sorry.
insight.
Oh, 17 plus 8. Sorry, I didn't add the plus 8.
That is different. He sounds hurried as he, even though it's in his mind, he sounds rushed as if he's thinking of many things. However, with the 25, he doesn't sound like he's lying to you. Unless he's lying to himself, he sounds like he's being honest.
I don't think we have to worry about him. But I would recommend that at least XC and some of the Rangers go up on the hill just to keep watch. He said he's taking a closer look and he's not going to initiate combat, so I don't know.
Affirmative. I will keep watch throughout the whole night.
See, I knew we didn't have to worry about him. He's turned a new leaf. I promise. He's a good guy now. Not that he wasn't a
Well,
good guy
just shut
before,
up.
but he's very respectful.
You were just saying that
No,
that he was going to go on a murder spree.
No, I believed. We would have to help him if he was, but I didn't think he would. But evidence pointed to the contrary. But of course, just on face value, I'd believe him. Of course.
Emma starts mimicking, like digging a grave. Just
So, XC, Rook kind of looks over to you as if, like, to the ridgeline.
Affirmative. And I start walking.
As you and Rook head up to watch out and see if you can see anything that's going on. Give me another perception check throughout the night, XC. But everyone else here, with the other rangers on the outside, you have a... Was that a 2?
Yeah, it's a 9 in total.
It's dark. You don't have, super long dark vision or anything, so that makes it a little hard. The lights in the distance help, but being able to spot somebody who you anticipate being invisible, let alone even when he's not, it is dark out and he is called the Black Archer. It will be very difficult to spot this man. You keep looking as best you can, but it is tiring doing so and being so vigilant all night. Rook sits nearby. He says, I could have sworn I saw fury in his eyes. I think that we're wrong not to go check. I don't know him enough like you all do, but I do worry. Before the rest of the crew, hunkering down for the night, I guess would be the best descriptor. Is there anything you're wanting to be doing tonight during preparation for the next day?
Yes. So seeing that like Rook and XC left, Ordell just like does like one of those cool. I guess I'm staying back. Not. And I'm gonna go my own way. I'm using full speed and stealth and perception. I'm gonna go look for Ritter.
Okay.
I have a +7 in both. Ordell is very confident.
Do you try and make your leaving the group hidden, or do you say I'm going?
Oh yeah,
bye?
absolutely. Ordell's just gonna like extinguish his flames and step in the shadows.
Go ahead and roll a stealth.
Okay. 25.
25. As you're all prepping for the night, what is everybody else doing? Winter, Asher, and Emma, what are we doing?
I wanted to check in with the tavern, write a little note, and I say barkeep, ? Pass it through the bracelet and see if I get any response.
Okay. We'll come back to that. Asherin, what are you doing?
I don't know. I think I'll just be prepping for a potential battle tomorrow, but she has no definite agenda.
Emma?
Emma's just being kind of distant and just chilling over in the corner.
Winter, you write the note, slip it through the bangle. Before, not very long, actually, about a minute later, you begin to see another piece of parchment like stick its way slowly through before falling out. You unroll it. It's a small scroll as you take a look, and it says, "This week's profits." Before you look to the side of the bangle, a small pouch of coins rolls itself out and onto the ground.
Ooh, I'll pick it up and have a look at what our profits were.
Go ahead and roll me a performance.
Oh no. 7.
21 gold is in that bag, 3 times what your performance score is, as that's still pretty promising based on the no business he had and the royalties that you plan to get. 21 gold, that's pretty good for this week. You're pretty happy with that.
I'm gonna get out just on the back of that parchment because I'm being frugal. I'm gonna write supplies, please, and then roll and do kind of like a quick like shopping list of just like some tasty rations and things like that, and put some more gold back in and like poke it through. Like I write things that are noticeably like long and skinny, like sausages.
Tubes.
And,
Give me tubes.
Tubes.
Baguettes, please.
And I roll that up and I shove it through. And I also try and put my mouth up to it and say, thanks. I don't think I've tried that yet.
You sit there for a moment, waiting. Maybe about 10 minutes pass or so, 20 minutes before you decide, okay, I'm just going to lay down and get ready to sleep and wait for the night. As you set the bangle there, waiting before a small wrapped package makes its way through with another note on it.
I'll open it up. I'll open the note first because it's that you always read the card before you open the present.
It is nighttime. The stores are closed. However, I've been experimenting with new things.
Oh no. All right. I open up the package.
Honey jerky.
You open it up and you see wrapped in parchment and glued together what can best be described as a Hershey's bar wrapper, like that kind of paper that's it's very different than most other candy bars where you can pull on one part and the whole thing just kind of undoes itself. A chocolate bar wrapper, though, on the front of this kind of parchment is a painting. It seems that Oliver has started creating artistic bars of something of which you haven't opened, but there's about a dozen of these small little wrapped bars.
Can I smell it?
Yeah.
And see if there is some
You want to
any
open it
honey
up?
smell. Yeah, but not all the way, just like a little bit to take a peek inside.
Yeah. As you kind of just pull open part of the glue on one side, it appears to be a layered chocolate treat. One half of it, a very dark, almost silky chocolate, where the top of it is sticky and smooth. This inside of this paper is designed to prevent any sort of sticking. This appears to be some weird honey chocolate concoction, almost like a solidified layer of honey is on top of this dark chocolate bar.
The first thing that I would want to do, obviously, is share that with Ordell because he loves treats. So I'm gonna excitedly like Ordell, and kind of like run around the hut trying to find him. Like, hey, we got treats.
She definitely sees like a propped up like in Ordell's bed, like the thing the kid
Bueller.
does, like where it's the blankets, and then like there's just basically like a ball with like a horribly painted like Wilson style Ordell face, like a nightmare fuel.
As you notice that Ordell is absent, we'll go to Ordell for a moment. As we did say, that was about 20 minutes after Ordell had snuck away from camp. In doing so, Ordell, you avoid the ridgeline and simply go around. It takes you a bit longer, but like you said, you're on a full-on run to try and get to Ritter as needed. Trying to be stealthy, but trying to move pretty quick. You've doused all your fire, and so you don't have great vision, but you're wanting to get there and protect your friend if it ever comes to that. So as you're running quite quickly down towards the fire fields here, you're getting closer and closer. You can span, with your movement speed, the 2 to 3 miles away before it actually gets to the fields. You get really close to that 2 mile away mark in hardly any time flat. XC, you might have actually seen him at this time as he's running, had you not rolled a 2 on your perception. And he specifically said fire douse, or else you could have just watched a little fire boy run across the field. As Ordell, you get closer to these fields, you can begin to see a bit clearer these plants that have an almost reddish hue to the tips of their leaves. It folds outwards like long leaf lettuce. The bottom of it is black, almost onyx, before it moves up to a glowing red tip on the ends. It's not quite cabbage, it's not quite lettuce, it's huge, like almost elephant ear leaves that stick out of the ground. There's one that's kind of strayed away from the farm, some seed that may have found itself planted in the ground out here that's maybe 100 yards off from the farm, to where if you wanted to go take a look at it and get a better look at these plants, you could, with hopefully not being seen by the rest of the farmer hands.
Ordell's gonna sweep around that because that feels like a place like Ritter might have investigated because he's interested in that. So I just want to see if I can start to find any trace of where he is.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
I don't have proficiency in that one. Dang. But still, unnatural 20.
Solid.
16 plus 4.
You look, there are tons of footprints out in this area. It is a farm, after all. It makes it very hard to find or track anybody in something that is constantly walked in and out of. However, you decide that Ritter probably wouldn't have been this obvious to walk on this farmland and look for any sort of tree cover. However, most of it is burnt and scorched land nearby. There's a few areas where he might hide if he were not invisible. The fact that he's invisible doesn't aid you in your tracking at all. But there is a small kind of cluster of hills off close to the farm that might give him somewhat of a vantage over the fields. There are 3 great windmills at the front of these farms. They seem to be not taking the wind so much as generating wind out towards this field as if to fan it or cool it, as you can almost feel the gust of wind coming towards you. And there might be other places to hide. However, with your lack of invisibility, you're certain that you would cross paths with a farmer or a raider or ranch hand out here in between trying to get to the other side.
Then the other thing, before I go to that hill where I saw Ritter, I'm gonna look. Is within my sightline? Can I see somewhere that like looks like there is like slave labor, people working or anything, like the hot spots that Ritter would look to, so I can pinpoint like where he is, if that makes sense? Like looking for something more obvious to see like things beside that where he'd go.
Yeah, absolutely. So you haven't actually seen him, but those hills would give you a good view of the actual workforce. They're tall enough up, they may be about 20, 30 feet up from the ground of this farm here, to where you could go take a look there. If that seems like that would give you a good description, or you could try and get closer to the actual farm and where the windmills are and the buildings that people would stay in that work these fields.
I feel like Ritter wouldn't go that close, so I'm gonna start with the hills, but I feel like he's about to prove me wrong.
Okay. So as Ordell, you begin walking closer towards the fields. Winter, you recognize that Ordell is gone.
I message her. Can I see Ashrin?
Yeah. She is same as you, has just kind of been getting ready to sleep for the night, prepping for what would be tomorrow's journey, but not quite doffing all her gear in case anything were to happen in the middle of night. Everyone is kind of getting ready to sleep, but still on edge a little bit.
I kind of like hastily like move so that my body is covering the Ordell prop. And then I message Ash and go, Ash, Ordell's gone.
I'm like right behind you. Aren't we in the hut together?
But I don't know. Should we tell everyone? Look, there's a don't look, but don't look.
Okay.
There's a pillow person where Ordell should be.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's a grown boy. He can do what he wants. I'm sure he's gone after Ritter, right?
Yeah. I mean, we should tell everybody he's gone, right? Do you think you'll be mad if we tell everyone?
I mean, okay, it's either we tell everybody or someone else finds out and they get even more mad.
Okay. Okay. Naughty message. Hey everyone. So I got some nice candy and then I was gonna share it with Ordell, but now he looks like a pillow person, so that's gonna be hard. And then
That's rude. We've all put on weight before. I don't think. Oh my! He's not here.
No.
Hey, Elijah is not taking this as a minor thing. Where is everyone going?
Our best guess is that he's gone to find Ritter.
Elijah grabs his sword and says, I'm going to take a look at the ridgeline, see if Xy's spotted anything. Before he starts walking up.
Emma again puts her fingers on her temples, agitated this time, to Ritter with sending, you both are wasting my spells. Ordell is out looking for you.
I will be fine. Ordell shouldn't have come. This is not a safe place. I will find him and return to camp.
Using another sending, Ordell. Ordell, you're wasting my spells. Ritter is coming to you, and you both will come back.
Over the sending stone, he goes, "What's up?" Not responding to the spell.
Which, who currently has the stone? I actually don't think it's Emma. I think it's Winter.
Emma doesn't.
I think it's
yeah, Emma
Ashley
does.
Booty.
Or Ashy Booty, yeah, Ashy Booty has it. So
Okay, then a
Ashrid-
loud "What's up" comes over
Yeah,
the sending
exactly.
zone. Not
What's
loud,
up?
but like a whispered one.
Okay, that's kind of weird. It's like you knew we were looking for you. We just discovered your pillow body.
Emma gives
Pillow
that a-
body, awesome.
They can both die, and Emma rolls over and goes to sleep.
I went because I don't know. I feel like it's if we just like let Ritter be Ritter, he is not coming back. I love that guy so much, and I know like we've all got our group to like watch out for, or whatever. But like he has gotten us here through so far, and I know he values like other people's lives more than his own. So he is going to do something tremendously stupid, more stupid than I am being right now. And I've never thought about this more crystal clear. So I'm sorry to worry everybody. I wanted to do that whole thing where I came back and I went like, oh, who's that over there? And I kicked over the pillow body, but that cool reveal is
Ordell.
over.
As you're speaking quite loudly in your stealthy mission.
Well, I mentioned I was whispering. I did say I was
Yeah,
whispering
yeah,
before.
but-
I'm just saying for the sake of.
Enough to make sound, for sure.
Okay, sure.
So as you're moving over towards the hills to try and find Ritter, not loud enough to where you think any farmhand will
Okay,
hear you.
I was
Yeah,
like,
you're not-
did I just
you're
get
not like,
caught?
Listen.
Yeah.
As that's happening, we'll come back to that in just a second. XC, Elijah steps, and you recognize his heavy boot steps as he approaches the ridgeline next to you and Rook. He says, "Okay, everything just kind of keeps happening. Could you look over towards the fire fields? You've got better eyes than I do." Ordell left. I don't know if you saw him.
Negative.
All
I
right.
have been working on a new contraption.
Well, Ordell is somewhere out in the fire fields. Ritter's gonna find him, I guess, or he's gonna find Ritter. Hopefully they don't get caught, but we need to keep a watch out for him. If we see anything, we need to go. We need to help them. I'm tired of people running off. Why don't we just tell people before we leave? We can help that way. God,
Can you use ropes potentially next time?
I might think about putting a collar and a leash on Ordell and Ritter. That would be a good idea. Keep us all together. God, the simplest things sometimes. As Elijah,
Huh, Elijah was oddly specific about picking Ordell and Ritter after that emphasis on that Ritter there, because you guys were talking about Ordell. Huh. Good for Elijah.
you know, he gets around. He likes hot people now. As he does point it out. Do you take a look back in that direction, XE, or are you still focused on your contraption?
Sure, I'll have another look.
Okay, that basically allows you to get another perception roll.
Sure. Let's go for some Moonbeam Menagerie. Oh, that's a 7 + 7 is only a 14.
14. It is still miles away, and it is quite dark. If they are in the fire fields, because those create little bits of fire, you might be able to see them, but until they make themselves more known, it's not going to be an easy sight.
I look back to Elijah. It is very dark tonight. The clouds are not assisting in vision.
Rook, he rolled a nat 20, so he says, "Hold on, I think I see." As Ordell, you're in the middle of saying, like, "Look, I think we can go get them," before you hear very fast footsteps coming towards you. Before you're at the base of the hills, about to walk up it and try and climb. So you actually get towards the top of one of the hills. You hear very loud footsteps before you turn and see nothing. Before at the very last second, you see Ritter's form appear from nowhere, as any sort of attack would negate the invisibility. As Ritter essentially gut checks you, and as you get to the top of the hill, he dives with you to knock you down and roll you down the hill. That brief moment that you're on the top of the hill, can you roll me a perception at disadvantage because of how quick it was?
13 and 12. So 12 still gets me a 19. Yeah.
19. As you get to the top of this hill, it seemed to have been obscuring your view, and you can see just briefly where Ritter had been running and found you, hopefully preventing this thing from seeing you. You see a great ghoulish creature, more bat than ogre with two great long arms and wings that protrude as it bounds itself around on the field, a bat-like snout sniffing into the ashen ground below, its body somewhere on the height of around 20 feet or so. You see it for the briefest of moments before you're about to stop speaking when Ritter tackles you and knocks you down the hill. Both of you kind of roll uncontrollably down here into and between these kind of mounds of this hill here before Ritter immediately puts his hand over your mouth and just...
Odell's giving him the worst stink eyes right now, but does nod.
Ashrin, Ordell stops talking. Mid-sentence.
Ordell!
Ordell?
Ritter looks down at your hand that holds the sending stone, eyes incredibly wide. He
Ordell?
kind of shakes, moves his hand. He says, "Get her to stop talking," before he goes to climb up the hill slowly.
This is Flame Baby Dash Booty. No more contact, please. Thank you.
As Ritter climbs up the hill a little bit, he puts his ear to the ground before he slides back down and pulls his cloak over you to hide you as he casts Pass Without Trace. I need a stealth check from you and Ritter.
Ooh, okay. Actually, even with Pass Without Trace, I'm going to use an inspo. Okay, that's better. It was a 7, not terrible, but now that's a 14 plus, I guess, 17?
It's the plus 10 with Pass Without Trace, so...
Yeah, and then plus another 7 for my stealth. So, yeah, 13, 7, that's a 30, even 30.
Which is very good, because you needed a 30. As...
Okay!
This heavy creature with a bat-like snout, you see its hand move onto the top of the hill as it pulls itself over. You can hear it sniffing on the hill. It seems to have cataract-covered white eyes, unable to really see all that well, as Ritter's cloak is just transparent enough to where you can see through it here and see what's happening as this creature bounds its way downward, sniffing over your cloak, sniffing over the grassy fields. Its ears twitch heavily at any slight sound before you hear an almost like fireworks like crack off in the distance. Its head turns before it moves, and it puts one of its great legs on top of the both of you, not in an attack, but absent-mindedly stepping upon you as it moves. In doing so, it deals 10 bludgeoning damage, kind of crushing you and Ritter beneath its weight. As such, I need a con save to see if you yell out in pain from this attack.
Oh, that's fair.
Just sound like a frog. Just sound like a frog. Oh,
Ribbit.
Do I? I'm gonna burn another inspo, I guess, because that's a 3. Cool. That's a 4. So 6 total.
Good. It's okay. Ritter rolled shit too, so.
Nice. Cool.
As the great weight of this beast steps upon you, at least it's on the back foot as it hits you. Both of you can't help but kind of groan out, and it quickly turns. And not only Ordell and Ritter, but everyone in the camp and XC on the ridgeline, as Rook points over, Elijah takes a look. You can hear a loud bat-like wail. I guess bats aren't exactly loud, but a huge, horrifying, ghoulish screech. Ordell and Ritter, I need another con save in reaction to the screech.
I'm not even gonna re-roll this one. I'm gonna use all my inspo if I keep doing that. Another 5. Oh boy.
You are deafened.
Cool.
There is
cool,
no
cool, cool,
sound
cool.
that you can hear, and you are going to be deafened for the next 2 hours as this screech.
Noise.
You hear it for a moment before nothing. Your ears, you can feel liquid as if some blood begins to trickle. As a result of this, I need you to make either a nature check or a survival check, whichever you are more or higher in. I guess more proficient, whichever you are better at, nature or survival.
11 plus 4, so 15.
15. Ritter mouths something to you, but you can't hear it as he tries to pick you up and get you running. With a 15, you're not entirely sure what this thing's capable of, but just its weight and the fact that it deafened you so quickly, you do not think that you and Ritter can take this thing alone, as Ritter picks you up and tries to get you to run out of there.
Yeah, while we're running, Ordell's just gonna send like one of his bolts like off, just like basically the opposite direction we're running, just like hit a tree or something.
Okay. Trying to kind of send it off in a different direction.
Basically, yeah. Like if like I'm gonna try like because we still got that pass without a trace, so I mean like Ordell's just gonna try and muffle his steps as much as possible, and then yeah, send it in another direction.
Okay. So as you do so, we'll say that's part of your stealth roll at disadvantage because you're deaf and don't really know how loud you're being. And Ritter's trying to get you to book it out of there. Are you kind of going full force with him?
So that was man, balancing out. It was a 20, but also a 13, so another 30 for stealth.
Sounds good. You
Cancel
shoot,
the nat 20. Feels bad.
you shoot a jet of fire off just into part of the field, hoping it will create a loud noise to get this creature to follow towards it. Ritter, as you shoot towards it, he kind of pushes you in the back, trying to get you to go faster. However, once you start going, it's Ritter who's going to fall behind as the two of you run. With this ghoulish screech, XC, as Rook pointed out, seeing something over there, he pulls his knife from the sheath. You look over and see a small jet of fire, not like the others where they've been small poofs, a almost ray of flames come off from the hills where Rook has pointed out. You recognize that kind of attack has coming from Ordell. With Rook having pointed it out and having seen that jet of flame, roll me a perception one more time.
One more time. Wow. 6 plus 7 is 13.
Rook and Elijah must be kind of tired at this point. Elijah says, What do you see? Rook says, I saw something for a moment, but I cannot see anything anymore. XC, you saw the shot from Ordell, but everyone down in the camp, you hear that loud bat-like screech before it kind of causes the other rangers and yourselves to sit up for a moment. What are the three of you doing, Emma, Ashrin, and Winter, in reaction to the sound?
They're both gonna die.
Ordell said not to talk, and now all of a sudden there's this sound. Okay, maybe Ordell was right. Maybe we should have followed him this whole time.
Well, if he hadn't have just disappeared into the darkness, Emma goes over to Winter's forehead and she looks you like in the eyes, and she scratches down your forehead with her thumb and casts Death Ward on Winter as a small purple skull appears on your forehead. Don't die. And Emma's gonna head out of the hut.
Man, I just wanted to share some of my chocolate.
The other rangers begin running up the ridgeline following Emma. Asher and Winter, what are you doing?
You'll get to share it, and I think we should start moving with them. We're better numbers.
Well, the last time we went together, there was a huge explosion. But I'm gonna wait until everybody else moves out because Tiny Hut will go if I leave. So, need to make sure everyone's wanting to leave first.
Okay. I'll go after them. Just keep the hut down. Save the. Okay, bye.
Well, if everyone's leaving, I'll come too.
Well,
Winter's like, before she grabs her pack and runs behind Asher, and you see the hut disappear as Winter exit. Everyone moves up to the ridge line, trying to get a better vantage point. At this point, Ordell, we're going to see if you can run faster than this thing. Are you just trying to run as fast as you can, or are you trying to keep the same pace as Ritter?
Man, you would ask that. Question, because so you can grapple someone and move half speed, right?
Yep.
What do I know from traveling with Ritter? What's his maximum possible speed he can go?
He's got the speed of a regular human.
Okay, great. So he travels like max, like dashing, like what, 80?
60.
60. Oh, great. Yeah. Okay. So I can run if Ordell's just gonna straight up like piggyback Ritter. And if he says anything about it, he's just gonna punch him in the side of the head. Because my full speed is 165 right now, so halved that is faster than Ritter's going. So yeah, Ordell is using all of his key points he can and dashing. Just going. I'm fast as yuck, boy.
So you can definitely grab him, but being able to move that fast with a full-grown person's weight, and even athletics to see if you're strong enough to carry Ritter.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad, and I have terrible athletics. Only +1. Okay, 17.
17. It's enough, though. You're not going to be able to get the full distance with this. This is a heavy weight, and you're trying to run 2 miles carrying a grown man with armor.
That's fair.
Going to be a rough time, but you could probably get halfway there in a adrenaline-filled situation like this, as long as you can outpace this thing. So half, you're going to be able to move what, 80 feet? You said 82.5, 80 for rounding's sake.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, chat, high or low?
I hadn't had one of these in a while.
I hate it when this happens.
To quote my favorite boy, Geralt of Rivia, fuck.
Let's see. Low, high, low. Oh, it's pretty even. So I'm seeing more highs, and that's a good thing. We want to be on a good note, right? So, okay. Yeah, we're gonna round down. So at 80 feet, you move the same speed as this thing, holding Ritter. You're not gonna be able to gain any ground on it. And as you pick Ritter up, he tries to like break free as if he could run faster before. Yeah, you just kind of just give him a tap on the back of the head, just a quick before picking him up and running with him. Him realizing that he's now going faster than he would be able to otherwise, he kind of shuts up about it. He turns now that you're carrying him, and he leans to the side and he takes a shot at this thing. You turn briefly to see this large ghoulish creature as he fires once, and he crits it. As you see the arrow fly right between this thing's bat-like eyes. And when it does so, a blue spectral form of itself. This is not any sort of transformed thing. This thing is what it was meant to be. 2 large versions of this ghoulish bat-like creature make themselves seen. Which that giant blue does give XC and everyone. You all move your way to the top of the ridgeline. As Rook says, we thought we saw something for a moment over there, but we can't see anything anymore, before you suddenly see a large blue light in the darkness. Everybody roll me a perception. Everybody besides Ordell.
Oh, shit.
I was going to say, I feel like I can see him.
What'd you get, Emma?
24.
XC.
19.
19. Winter Ashwin.
17.
9.
9. Solid. Emma and XC can see the form of this creature. It's not just a blue dot in the distance. You see the size of this. Something the size of a giant is bounding its way in your direction, though this blue light stays still in one spot. It does not look friendly, and it definitely seems like it could be the source of that screech.
So the way I'm imagining it, we're up on a ridge. Is there like a downslope to
Yeah.
get to where they are?
Yep.
Okay,
They're
then
about
Emma's just
2 miles away at this point.
Cool. Emma's gonna slide down the ridge to start heading that way.
As soon as you go, that's permission for Elijah. He starts running with you. He grabs the sword by the blade and starts sliding down and running with you.
What are they running towards? Is the plan to fight this thing?
I guess it is. I mean, what are we gonna do? Oh, well, we always forget we can, like, run from things, but...
Well, we don't have a hut anymore.
We don't, so,
Yeah, we don't. Ooh, ah.
Ah, shit.
With Asheron's kind of whispery tone, it's always like, "Oh yeah, we don't, do we?"
well, wing it. We just wing it. I mean, clearly that's what everyone else is doing, right?
I
What
look
are we
at
doing?
XE and shrug.
This is illogical. What do you wish to do, Winter?
Back to the hut.
We're just like, screw it. I'm making a home. Bye, everybody.
That is more logical than what is going on
that's
right
that's fair.
I guess, should we stay here and try and provide backup? I don't think that I'm going to be very helpful running towards that giant creature that's going to eat us.
Right, I'm not really
Can
good
I
from
calc-
far away either.
Ryan, can I kind of figure out the creature's coming, or what direction it's going in?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Absolutely. You can definitely get that it's going. It's following something, and that something is headed in your direction.
By my calculation, Winter, this creature will arrive at our location in
10
7
minutes.
minutes,
Yeah.
24 seconds.
Oh, that's not enough minutes to make a new hut.
In 7 minutes and 24 seconds.
No, it's not, so...
Weird question. Would Winter know what Emma did to her?
Actually, yeah. Roll me a religion check on that, Asheron and Winter, since you both would have been there to see it.
Religion?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sick of you hurting me. 12.
9.
Neither of them are familiar with the symbol. You think that Emma, you were talking about tattoos earlier.
And a bitch.
It was like, don't die. Come on.
I'm trying. I'm just gonna stand there and like hold a chill touch.
Okay. Winter is holding for if this thing gets closer. Emma and Elijah are running towards it. XC Asheron, what are the two of you doing?
I look to Asheron. Run or hold.
Okay, sorry, my push to talk was working.
Oh.
I'm not very good from afar. I think I'll have to go join Emma and them. But Exie, you're great from afar with your gun, and Winter with your spells. So you're the backup crew, you know?
I unfortunately, even though I respect your thought of how good I am, cannot shoot 2 miles.
You know, lob it. Lob.
Jeez, and I'm gonna run down the hill.
Okay. Here we
Okay,
go.
Winter and Asheron go running after. XC, what are you doing?
I don't think I've got a choice. I'm gonna follow these two.
Sounds good. As actually, this is great. This is even better.
Completely.
This
give
is
away
even
our,
better.
Completely give away our stealth surprise of us coming to attack this thing. Like, nope. Hey, here we are.
Asheron, you say, I think I gotta go after him. Winter goes, before Winter runs off. XC, you look at Asheron, who says, and before runs off following him. XC, you then look at Rook and the other rangers as you're like, deciding if you should go or not. It takes you but a moment before, with your perception, behind Rook, sitting on one of the rocks on the mountainside, you see a creature sitting with disheveled robes, a single ear, and rodent-like face looking off towards the field for what's happening. He's not very far. He seems to think that you all don't notice him as he sits on the edge of this rock looking outwards at what's going on.
Oh.
Okay, well, instead of running, as I spot that,
Uh-huh.
I'll pull out my gun
Aim it at it.
and without even mentioning anything, I'm going to swing it around, which is going to stop literally within like 2 inches of Rook's head, is the way I'm envisioning it. Next to it, not in front of it.
Yeah.
And then fire a shot so it lands into the tree that this little creature is sitting on.
So it's sitting on like a solid rock surface. The only reason
Into the rock, yeah.
there's a reason, yeah, I have to ask for clarification. So do you shoot the rock near, like right at its feet or something to scare it?
Correct. Now, since you haven't described this yet, I better describe this process.
Please.
So, as
can't go wrong.
my gun starts to fire at the same time, a noise that hasn't been heard before, slight whirling, starts sounding through the left arm and part of the central body of XC. And for anyone who rolls high enough perception, you notice some material from the ground kind of being absorbed. Maybe a bit of dirt, maybe a bit of something else. And as the gun fires with the silencer, the whirling stops and you hear this plop and another bullet appears inside the hopper.
For clarification, you're shooting, is it one of the ones that
Cool recycler gun.
kind of fires with almost a bright, like a hot intensity, I guess is the best descriptor without giving it away?
No, I'm firing just a normal bullet, but
Okay.
the bullet gets replaced.
Then I need a high or low roll from you. Call it high or low, Alex.
Let's go low.
Perfect. Yep. Okay. Good. So as Ashrin, Winter, and Emma go running down with Elijah, the Rangers are still up there at the top. You hear a loud click before XE fires. With a low roll, you see this rat-like creature. If you've seen a rat folk, actually you might have before. Roll me a nature check.
Sure.
It defecates everywhere.
18.
8. Yep, you've seen a rat folk before. This one is patchy skin, hardly any fur on some parts of it, only a single ear. As soon as you fire the bullet, it hits into the rock, creating a small spark. This creature, with so much gunpowder in its pockets and on its clothes,
Oh no!
and lined with very many explosives, you fire as it turns. It goes, a huge explosion on the cliffside. Now, mind you, not a small explosion. This is, you thought you shot a barrel of gunpowder for a brief moment. As you shoot at the ground and create a small spark near this creature, you hear its whelp for just a moment before whatever was there is gone. You see, like a cartoon, think like Wile E. Coyote, out of the smoke flies. It's the yeah, as the creature falls and rolls into the field below, covered in smoke and flames. It creates a loud and a dazzling stream of lights as you blow up this cliffside.
Do what's more appropriate.
What do you say, Alex?
As that happens, without skipping a beat, Exie looks over to Rook and taps his gun. Upgraded.
Rook says, "What did we have to go now before he starts running down. Winter, Ashrin, Elijah, and Emma. In the night sky, you see a small fireball off towards the cliffside that you just came from. Afraid that your friends are hurt. However, you see XC and the other unwilling running down. You do see a small thing flying through the air off in your direction before it lands right in between you, XC, and the other unwilling. The fire is almost immediately put out as its body rolls into the dirt, completely singed. Whatever hair was on this rat-like creature is absolutely gone.
How far away?
It'd be about 50 feet between you and then 50 feet to XC.
Am I quick back? Spare the dying. And
as-
keep running.
Go ahead and roll me a religion check, actually.
All right. Okay. Religion is a +5, so 21.
Perfect. As you turn, you spare the dying, shoot a small jet of flame, but the flame bounces off of the creature. You see the flame almost dissipate. It seems to have no effect on it before it lays in the ground and quickly sits upwards directly, like 90-degree angle, looking upwards towards XC as it kind of scurries back, afraid of XC and the unwilling that are there and nearby. Whatever clothing it might have had is completely destroyed and disheveled. It has some small metal on it, both in the forms of rings and amulets, and on its one ear, a piercing. Ordell, as you're running, trying to get away from this giant creature, you can't hear. However, Ritter seems to keep trying to speak to you. You look down towards him, and he's trying to say words. He doesn't recognize that you're deaf as you kind of respond, "What?" just very loudly in his ear as he just kind of grabs your head and turns. You are 10 feet away from this thing. There are times where it literally is nipping at your heel. Your kind of jet of fire distracted it enough to where it's not right on you and didn't prevent you from chasing or getting away outright, but it is right on you. As you're running, you're not going to be able to keep this up for terribly long. You could probably get about halfway there, and you think, okay, I just got to get to that ridgeline. We just got to get back towards our friends. If we're at that ridgeline, we're going to be safe. You see the ridgeline blow up in an explosive fireball. You see something fly off from it as you and Ritter kind of look down at each other like, what the hell was that? As you continue to run as best you can. It is 7:50. Let's come back at 8 o'clock. We'll take a 10-minute break to figure out what all is going to be happening as a result of this chaos. So we'll be right back. We'll be right back. Bye. Why always with the sound effects? Welcome back, everybody, except Drew. Welcome back, everybody, except Drew.
What sound effects?
Yeah, who knows? Thank you, everybody, for waiting. We still have the giveaway, so make sure you have entered that if you want to enter that for the token. But we're going to continue right where we left off. Jackie will be joining us right now. I'm so good at timing. Jackie is joining us right now. We coordinated that. But right where we left off, the rat-like creature sits up almost at like a 90 degrees before head on a swivel, looking up towards XC and the unwilling before he kind of scoots back and away from you. And in doing so, he gets a little bit closer to Winter and Ashrin, who are in between Emma and Elijah and this creature. This small rat folk thing that lands is maybe only about 20 feet away from you. It doesn't even seem to have really noticed you, Ashrin and Winter, as it's scurrying away from XC and Rook and his rangers as it slides backwards. Are you paying any attention to this, or is that a problem for a later time and still running after
No,
Ordell
it's
and-
weird. A creature just dropped from the sky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me, who the fuck are you? Are you nice or not?
What? That thing shot me. I'm covered in black powder and it shoots Belch. Why it hurt me so much?
What? What? Why
It's-
would where did you come from?
I was in the
FC?
mountains watching. You didn't even know I was there and you shot me.
Why were you watching us?
What would you do? You come to this cloud thing. I didn't know what you were doing, friend or foe, and then you shoot me. bow! Ah! Ah! He clutches
Oh,
at his shoulder that's still kind of smoldering. Ah! Oh,
I don't know if XC shot you because I feel like if XC shot you, you'd be dead.
I did! I died!
What?
I died! I did right there! I blew. You saw me! I flew through the sky and landed on the ground. Belch died. I'm very dead.
Can I roll insight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you seen the Suicide Squad, Ryan?
Oh,
Like the recent one?
yeah, the little
This
mole
awful
creature or
hyena
whatever.
thing.
Yeah, oh, I hated
The
that.
weasel?
I
That's
hated
what
the
I'm
weasel,
seeing
yeah.
right now.
Oh, I don't want to be compared to that because when my parents and I watched it, we were like, "This is the worst part of this movie." But that's not a horrible nondescriptor. He's a rat folk, you know, so he's half y'all's size. Mouse-like features.
Coming with us.
What's up?
This NPC will be adopted. I just want you to know this.
We adopt all.
We
Dead or
all-
alive.
Yeah.
Dead or alive. What was your insight?
It was 12.
Well, he doesn't
No,
seem
sorry,
to be
14.
lying. Oh, 14.
14.
He doesn't seem to be lying to you, but you also don't know him that well, and he seems to be pretty frantic.
Pretty sure I know dead things and you're not dead.
No, I did. I'm very good with explosives, so I know how to come back as XC is at this point, like, approaching with Rook and the other rangers. They all have daggers out, some of them with crossbows aimed at this small thing. He says,
Don't move or
don't...
we will kill you.
Okay, I don't have anything other than... as he holds up necklace now, so I'm not the threat. Not the threat. You are
Can I go?
teach, by the way.
Can I go up to him and inspect his amount of life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he dead or not? I would like to do a death check, please.
Roll
What's that?
a medicine check.
I think Wolfsrain said it best. The mole from Atlantis.
That's not a bad descriptor.
Can I use my arcane abilities as a necromancer to determine if it's dead?
Well,
You
it's
got- you-
moving around, so
I'm gonna take my rapier out and I
12.
just pointed at it, and I'm like,
Brie, you actually have lots of inspos this time.
Ashrin, you trying to intimidate it?
I hold it out and I'm like, Winter, just say the word. We'll make it one of your kids.
Ooh, never had a rat kid before. I rolled a 12. I rolled a 12.
All signs point to that he is alive. If he died, it was very quick.
I'm gonna like smell him. I mean, like,
He smells like burnt hair and charred flesh.
you smell toasty, but you don't smell dead.
I wasn't dead very long. Don't hurt me, please.
Say the word, Winter.
It doesn't seem threatening. Just more like a little pathetic.
Emma, you and Elijah are still running to go help, correct? Okay, just
Yep.
making sure. So I know who all's around. The Rangers, XC, Winter, and Ashrin are around this little creature. He says,
I drop
"Wow,
the rapier then.
that's so rude. I just met you. You're pathetic. Why did you shoot me? I was just sitting there.
XE,
Why-
did you shoot? Did you shoot this creature?
I shot next to the creature to alert it that we could see him.
And I have explosives. I'm very good with them. And sometimes the powder falls on the ground. You hit. Sparks are
Did
very
you say-
dangerous.
Did you say have explosives or had explosives?
Yes, in both senses. I have, I had, I will have again.
I mean, explosives could be pretty useful for blowing things up.
Why are you spying on us like a weirdo?
Why were you spying on them? I just wanted to see what was going on. What are you here for? Why did you hurt me?
We're running towards that thing, the thing you were watching,
To do what?
to save our friends. And we see Emma just running in the distance, getting smaller and smaller.
He looks at you. He seems to be judging whether you're telling him the truth or not. Roll a persuasion.
Okay, different die today. Let's go. Different die. 8.
He says, Okay. So say your friends were being hurt or chased by something quite big. You should probably go help them, because they are very big.
Yeah. Well, you look like you could help, so
No.
can I just grab it by the collar?
It doesn't. So it's got like a necklace, an amulet of some symbol on it, but you can grab the necklace and pull him by that. He's very light.
I grab it. Winter, perhaps 2 birds, 1 stone. Go.
I can't speak.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear you over the groans. What's up?
Oh, 2 birds, 1 stone. Narg, we gotta save our friends. Take explosive rat with
yeah.
us.
Should we throw the rat at the thing?
Oh, yes.
Oh no,
Or the tower.
Oh, I do kind of like him.
You right now.
Well,
Okay, I dropped that.
no one likes me at first.
Why are you so mean to Belch? All I want to do is help.
Oh, you gonna help us?
Well, I was to help myself first, but then you're going to help friends. I'm a good guy. I would help if you needed.
Okay,
Well-
get that ass up and go. Come on, move it. And I just start shoving him in.
I don't even have clothes right now. I don't have any of my things.
Do you have a small house that we can hide in?
I have cave.
You have cave. He's got a cave. Where's the cave? Is it
Cave?
close?
Yes, we should go quick. I'm sure things will come. You made a big boom.
Oh, well, we need to show our friends how to get to the cave as well.
Well, go get your friends and come back to a mountain. I want an apology.
From anyone in just a generalized apology. Okay, we'll meet you back here. Wait, how do we know you won't move?
I'm going to move. I'm going back to cave. Come to mountain. But I'm leaving. You hurt me.
Can you pat him better?
Pat him better. Like what do
You
mean?
know, well, when I touch people, I usually suck out their life force, but you do it the other way.
Oh, right. Okay. Here. And I give him 5 points of health back.
As you do so, some of the just patchwork fur on him seems to kind of like regrow itself. He has just like horrible mad scientist burn type hair on his head. His ear it kind of flopped over after he had died, but it goes back to redded pointiness on the side. It says, "That's a good start."
Okay.
Good start.
Better? Do you feel better? Can I also
course I
divine
feel
sense
better.
at the same time to detect good and evil just to verify?
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
rat? I sense it.
Okay, I sense it.
Do it.
As you kind of look at him and give him a scorn, not fully trusting him. You put your hands together and kind of look through, creating an almost diamond in your hands to be able to look through and detect. He seems to be neither good nor evil, though if you were to classify him as something, he's a pretty good guy.
All right. You know what? I like the look of you. Here's another 5 points.
As you pat him on the shoulder, he says, "That's good. I only needed a few." Go, find, save friends, and then help me move my things. Come to mountain, save me. You owe me.
Is there like a waypoint? Like how are we supposed to know which part of the mountain to go to?
I'm in the cave in the mountain. I was right by where you stayed. I thought you knew. I made the whole trail and everything.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, of course we knew.
Good, then that's where I'll be. Find it.
Know everything.
I pull out my my seeker bullet
Mm-hmm.
and grab the ball part of it and lean down, hold on to this. I will find you.
He snatches it out of your hand. He says, "Watch where you shoot things. I would have rather gone right through me." Before he...
I can make that happen if you would like.
No, just... He kind of limps. He says, "I like you. I don't like you. I don't like you." He points to Ashram with the "like you" because you healed him, but he specifically calls everybody else out. "I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you." Just to all the rangers down the line in 2XC. He says, "And you what a way to introduce yourself. Who does this? As he kind of like goes walking up towards the mountain. He says, who would just shoot at somebody's foot like this? It's rude. It's not good manners. But he kind of goes,
I will answer him. GB134-XC.
Belch! As he turns, giving you a name in return.
Like basically he goes like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
basically. With that, Rook says, we don't have time for this.
Oh, yes.
But he's right. People will be coming to this. That was a huge explosion. Oh, yeah, and people are calling for inspo. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take one. Woo, woo.
Job,
I
right?
like Belch. He's fun.
I look over to
Let's kill him.
Winter and Ashrin. We better move to catch up to Emma and Elijah.
Okay. Before I do, I turn to Belch like, right where you were, right?
He's a decent distance at this point as you're like, right where you were, right? As he's like, I already said this.
All right. Shall we? And I look back to everybody. And
That's
then I
me, bro.
dash.
As we run, like, okay, so at what point do we turn around and keep running back the way that we've just run from?
Once we get everybody else, right?
Okay.
Once we get everyone else that is still alive.
As all of you begin running to follow, Emma and Elijah are some distance ahead of you, so we'll definitely meet up with Ordell and Ritter first. However, Ordell, carrying this grown-ass man is taxing. Roll me a Constitution save or an Athletics, whichever you'd like.
So I was gonna ask, at the point of where Ordell like feels like he can't anymore, could I use like acrobatics or something basically to just fling like Ritter ahead of me? Because Ordell at that point is gonna stop and try and stunning strike this thing, like, and get Ritter to go ahead.
Yeah, so you could probably throw him as far as you could throw a grown man. So, like setting him down and just having him run might be better, knowing your physical strength. But if you're wanting to just kind of push him off and turn and try and nose check this thing, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, that's the vibe, because Ritter's not fast.
So are you wanting to do this soon, or as you start to get tired and unable to carry anymore?
As I think, like, probably within, like, when, like, not just like right when Ordell's like but like just before that point, like, so yeah, we can just get as much distance as possible.
Okay, then either athletics again or a con save to see how far you go.
Okay. That's a 15. I think my con is higher than my athletics. Yeah, my con is +2. My athletics is 1, so that's a 17.
Okay. With that, then yeah, you're able to get nearly the full mile before it just starts to be too much. Ritter tries to get shots as he can, but being carried like this is a very difficult spot for him. He gets maybe 2 other shots off on this thing. You can see the flash of blue as he does so while it's following. When he does so, just kind of almost throws you off balance, so you kind of jerk him to stop, making him do that so that you can keep up your speed. Once you get closer towards that end, you saw that fire. You can see what you recognize to be a purple-ish flame in the dark running towards you. You recognize that it's Emma, and that kind of gives you the strength you need to push and get as close as you can to Emma. When you're about 500 feet away, there's just no more left in the tank before you say, all right, Ritter, as you toss him and turn and go for a stunning strike then. So Emma, you and Elijah are going to start 500 feet away from Ordell and this creature and Ritter. But we'll start as you're going to try and turn around. This thing is chasing you. So just to see who does their action first, because it's actively trying to get to you, let's just roll an initiative and see if you or this thing go first, Ordell.
Also, question, Rybo, how far, like, how many rounds of running have we been doing from this thing? Because Alex brought up a good point, because I have 8 key points. So how many would I have used for running across?
It takes a key point around, basically.
I think so. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So,
Well, so that's not even a full minute, and you definitely didn't get a mile in a minute at 80 feet per second. But for rule of video game and cool, and getting things a little bit closer, Roll me a percentile.
Okay. I was so excited. I thought that was a 92, but no, it's a 29.
29. Okay. So with that, you're a little bit further than previously described. You're probably
Okay.
about 1,000 feet away from
Cool.
Emma when this happens.
And I'm out of key points, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you would definitely be out of key then.
'Kay. 'Kay.
You could have stopped if you wanted to a little bit. We'll say if you want to save any key points, we'll add 100 feet for every key point you wanted to save.
I will save one then, because I do want to do the stunning strike thing, because
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
pretty important with how many people are coming up.
So you're 1,100 feet away, Emma and Elijah, when this starts. So roll an initiative.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I only have +4. It's not something you can be proficient in. That's still 22.
Solid. Okay. Let me roll for Ritter as well. Okay. Let me start writing this down real quick. And
So
Okay.
my iPad does not like me today.
oh yeah.
Trying to draw, and it just keeps like interrupting my lines as I draw.
I got a new Rocket book, so I can actually rewrite things again instead of having to just leave it and write over stuff. So I'm excited. Okay. With that, you toss Ritter off and turn to strike this thing right in its nose. You know, that punch that will send somebody kind of reeling. With its natural 20, however, as soon as you... the rolls. As soon as you drop Ritter to turn, it is on both of you instantly. It grapples both of you and seems to almost dive into the ground and roll with both of you, almost like an alligator-like death roll as it holds you with its giant fists. In doing so, I need a strength save.
Not good too.
Is this where
2.
we use the GFY on Rybo? Is this time?
We can.
Sounds like
Chat. Let's take a poll.
it. GF.
High or low? No, just kidding.
Are we
would do
taking a
that?
poll
Who would
before we
make-
take this bat's poll? Because like I don't know, man.
No GFY, says Boba. GFY says Druid. I'll let the next one that we see in chat be the decider.
Whoa.
NPCs need care, PCs have autonomy. GFY. Hey. Cheater.
Oh, okay, so there's more
Okay,
after
yeah,
me.
there we
I
go,
will
there we go.
let it be known there was. But I just love how you were like, oh, GFY. Wait a second.
Hey.
I'd like to think I snuck in chat with like a little Groucho Marx on, you know? I think you should give a GFY. I don't know. I'm not involved or nothing, but I'm just suggesting. I don't know why my guilty face is Kermit the Frog and John C. Reilly.
Combined.
But
So
Yeah.
I'll use the GFY then, because you rolled high enough. So are we doing this for initiative so that you get to try and do his thing first, or the strength rolls? Okay,
probably
what-
yeah.
there we go. That's more beneficial for you. That went down from nat 20 to a 6, so that's better. Okay, so
Good job,
instead, as yeah, the good save. So -1 GFY for me. It goes to lunge towards you, and it dives and it kind of slides into the dirt, barely missing you as you toss Ritter off to the side, basically parting ways as this thing slides into the middle here, allowing you to do your first turn. Emma, go ahead and roll me an initiative for you and Elijah. Just have you do
Well,
it.
hot damn. That, my friend, is a 22 with a natural 20.
Nat 20. All right, so you're going to go first. Emma.
Not that we're still 1,100 feet away, but you know.
Yeah, you know, but that does allow you to try and move a little sooner. So, Emma and Elijah, you're going to go first. You see this creature dive into the ground as you can take your turn, as you see Ordell begin to wind up a punch towards it.
Yeah, just
Just gonna keep running.
bonus action.
Action, bonus action, everything just going. So we'll say you get about 100 feet just for easy numbers for how close that you're going to be. So 100 feet closer, you and Elijah. Ordell, it's going to go to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna deck him in the face, I guess. I'm gonna punch the giant horror bat. Does a 26 hit him?
Definitely does.
I wanted to be a butt about it. Yeah, I'm gonna make this the stunning strike, and he takes 10 bludgeoning damage, magical.
Ooh. Con save?
Yes. DC is if this is my first stunning strike that works, that'll make me happy. 15.
It got a 14. Has a +8 to con, but it got a 14.
Jesus!
So
My first stunning strike. Hey!
And so its +8 is based around its health. It is not proficient in con saves, just FYI. So you turn towards this thing as it screeches out. You're certain it might have deafened you again, but as it does so, you just clock it right in its bat pig-like nose. And in doing 10 damage, you see this thing briefly just kind of fall to the ground, stunning itself for the briefest of moments, allowing you to act again or try and run further away.
Yeah, I'm gonna gonk it with my quarterstaff with my multi-attack. And then I'm just gonna run with my movement. I'm not gonna, well, because bonus action punch, yeah. I just rolled them both together. Oh wait, does stunned mean advantage on attacks, or is it, or is that not?
Stunned is like
cool.
the worst thing you can be.
Okay, cool. Then that's a 17 on the first one, and then the second one is 24.
17 does not hit, 24 does.
Cool. And then with my gonking staff, I don't know why I'm calling it that now. Heck yeah. First 2 damage rolls have been max, so that's nice. I got that going for me, I guess. 12. Yeah, and then Ordell's gonna use his 55 feet of movement and just run back.
As it, so the visuals, you stun it. You can almost see its skin ripple out into waves as it falls to the ground. Before then, you just take your staff and that too, and you run off towards Emma.
Yeah, basically.
Jen, you're like,
does the cool like Hulk punch on the Leviathan kind of thing, and then immediately,
Ritter turns towards it. He begins running as well. He takes 2 quick pop shots against it. Ooh. The first shot slams right into the side of it. Its hide is thick and heavy, so the arrow doesn't even go that far into it, but you see that it does slam into it. But the second one creates the spectral figure that he then fires at before continuing running behind you, doing sizable damage to this thing.
Heck yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, stunned is brutal.
Yeah, it's not good. So its turn. It's stunned. It waits there. So everybody goes back again. Emma and Elijah getting closer. Okay, you're 900.
No, we stop and we watch, and we think.
Look, that's what Winter Ashford and XC did with the rat. So I.
No. We run.
Okay.
I just love that. That's like the time. No one knew it was a time bomb at the time, but the time bomb Muppet was, there's a bat monster. But that time bomb Muppet's looking at me funny. I still love that. I adore that.
So, all right, you and Elijah get closer. Ordell, you and Ritter, what are you doing on this turn while it's still stunned? Are you full sprinting away, or are you attacking?
I think Ritter I would tell to like full dash, because his full dash is just as fast as I am. So I'm gonna keep his speed but use all 3 of my attacks because I can sunbolt from super far now. So I'm just gonna throw sunbolts at this thing while yelling probably too loud for Ritter to run.
You can do about 90 feet now, I think, right? It might be even further. Is it tripled your distance?
Something like that.
Yeah. So we'll say you
with the
shoot
big fancy
before you
gloves.
continue running off and away. You see this thing kind of get up and shake its head, shaking off the disorientation before you boom, 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 shoot 3 jets of flame towards it.
It is still stunned, though, until the end of my turn, I think. End of my next turn. So I still got advantage
It's
on these
flavor.
bad boys. Unnatural 20. 1 and a 12, but that 12 becomes a 19.
20 hits.
Oh no. Oh, and then I did the thing where one of them was almost a crit, but no, it's just 19. So that one's 26. So I got 2 hits. 8 plus 4, so 16 radiant damage.
Okay. Just one of yours hit with the
yeah.
20, or do you have 2 more attacks?
No, yeah, one was an unnatural 20, and then the other one I rolled a 19. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
just 2 attacks hit, and then the one bonus action one whiffed.
Gotcha. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it for me.
So
Now it's not stunned.
as you're running, then Ritter puts a couple arrows into the hand with the bow and just goes for a full sprint, trying to get close to Emma and Elijah, seeing allies nearby. You shoot at it before then running alongside Ritter. You know, as soon as it gets into range, you could start firing at it again, as you want to kind of keep pace with Ritter here. You're both essentially closing 100-foot gaps. As this thing gets up, begins bounding its way towards you. It's catching up a little bit before... Through this time for your running, you're about 300 feet away from Emma and Elijah over the course of a couple rounds. Before this thing is just about to get into range, you see this thing essentially can best be described as Hulk out for a moment. As it's running on all fours, it pushes off and makes an almost like gliding leap as its wings kind of spread out, and it hovers just briefly above the ground, maybe a couple inches, just flying right above the ground before then it does the same thing. And it does that leap one more time, and it tries to get as close as it can. Emma, you're about 200 feet away from Elijah when this thing, with its leaping kind of bound, gets real close. In the next turn, it is going to be on you, Ordell and Ritter. But you see Emma and Elijah get closer. Elijah lights his sword aflame, the purple and the red flame approaching like beacons of safety as they come try and help you against this giant creature. Let's go to Emma at 200 feet. Is there anything that you can do?
Still running.
Okay, you get 100 feet closer. Elijah.
I do have a spell prepared though.
Okay.
But it's gonna be like, hi, I can touch you almost.
Gotcha.
Kind of closeness.
So you get 100 feet away from Ordell and Ritter. Elijah does the same thing. Ordell, this thing, you can see it gliding towards you. It's going to be on you this coming turn. You can act again on it if you'd like to attack it, or you can leave Ritter a bit and keep sprinting. What are you doing?
Yeah, if it's on us at this point, yeah, Ordell's gonna turn around again and just sock it in the face.
Okay.
Because yeah, I don't have a 20 AC, but I mean an 18's pretty darn good. I just want to see. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, this is smarter. I'm gonna go up to it. I'm only gonna take my bonus action attack with punching, and I'm gonna use my action to just use the dodge action. So not my bonus action patient defense, but yeah, I'm just gonna take one punch in its face hole. Nothing fancy with the punch, but it's still pretty good. A 21
hits.
So I just basically 13 is what I need to roll. Okay, that's 7 bludgeoning damage. That's magical, and yeah, I'm just gonna square up with it. It has disadvantage on attacks on me, and I have 18 AC.
Okay. As you turn, you punch it once in the face before it swipes at you as you quickly dodge underneath it, and it kind of squares up, recognizing you as an opponent to be fought against now. Ritter, on his turn, does not square up with it. He continues to run as he knocks 2 arrows and tries to fire a double shot into it. One arrow seems to bounce off the hide of this leathery creature before the other one sticks it right in the ear, causing sizable chunk of damage, but creating a blue spectral version of this creature right next to it. Its turn, however, you are sorely squared up against it, and so it's going to do its thing at disadvantage because you were dodging, correct?
You betcha.
It does, I guess, a thrash or a tantrum like pounding, just stomping its fists into the ground, trying to completely pulverize you. It's going to make 4 attacks against you.
Whoo boy.
First hit, second miss. Your AC is 18, correct?
You betcha.
Ooh, natty 1. 2 hit, 2 miss. So we're just.
I mean, I'll take it.
We're just going to take the average on those. So that's going to be 42 damage from the 2 hits that slam into you. The first hit kind of like picks you up with one hand before it just throws you onto the ground. And as you bounce off the ground, it takes both of his hands and slams you into the back as you fall back into the ground. It hurts tremendously. This thing is in some sort of blood fury. As it's going to go to Emma's turn. You're 100 feet away. You say you could spend the rest of your movement if you want to dash to get next to Ordell, but you wouldn't be able to do an action then. Or you can move, get about halfway there, 50 feet away, and do something.
Shoot time!
Still dashing.
Okay, so Emma gets right next to Ordell as you are quite literally basketball bounced off of the ground.
If I may, could I... Now, I don't know if you're going to let me do this, but could I do an acrobatics slide under this creature?
You want to try and
As I'm
get to the
going?
other side of it?
Like a baseball slide to home plate, you know?
It is in the middle of a stomping tantrum. I will let you try.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatics.
I don't have great acrobatics. It's a 9, but I'm going to use an inspiration on that.
That's a good call.
That's
Person
better. That's
who
better.
is-
That's an 18.
That was a good call. Person who is vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. As in the midst of this thing stomping on the ground with an 18, yeah, you slide right in between its stomps, barely, seemingly only unable to be focused on because it is waylaying so hard against Ordell.
I will say, as this slide's happening, it's not an action by any means, but she's dragging her shield down, and it almost looks like there's a tear in the ground as she slides,
Ooh, I like it.
setting it up for the next turn.
Elijah squares up against this creature. He has to spend
I
his
know
whole
what's
dash
happening.
to get there as Ordell and Elijah now stand against this ghoulish bat. Ordell, it's your go.
Man, Ordell's just gonna keep punching because now Emma's under the hood of this thing, so that's fun. I'm just taking my 1 again. I'm just gonna keep taking the dodge action because if I don't do that, that's not good. Shoot, 17 does not do the do. So
No, doesn't. As it
but yeah,
grabbed you and
dodge
threw
action
you
again.
on the ground, you tried to push off the ground and hit it in the chest, but you feel just how thick and sturdy the bone of this creature is. You think you need to direct your attacks towards its more soft face.
thick with 2 C's.
2 or 3. As
Maybe even 6.
it goes to actually, I'm gonna do something here. After Ordell squares up to punch it, XC, Winter, and Ashrin, you and the other rangers are sprinting to get here as close and as quickly as you can to help out. At the point where Elijah squares up against this thing, you can now see this creature in its full glory as you're 400 feet away from it. So each round you can try and do the 100 feet move just for ease of numbers and stuff. But y'all are entering now at 400 feet away. I gave kind of an arbitrary for who's going next because I had spot on the paper. Ashrin, 400 feet away. What are you doing?
Doing the 100-foot move.
Okay. Winter? Winter.
Yeah, same. Just moving towards.
XC.
Chicken feet are active.
Okay, sounds good. The Rangers
I
are
love the
also going to
chicken
do the
feet so
same
much.
thing. As
They also have chicken feet?
yeah, they have bones. They're basically chicken feet. As Ritter fires twice into this thing again. This time,
Hold on. Sorry, I do apologize. How far away are we?
400 feet.
400 feet.
I wondered
I
if
can
you
see the
were going
creature,
to
right?
chicken feed it or...
Yeah, there's no need to chicken feet, right?
Yeah.
Click, click, baby.
I will drop into prone position, pick up my bipod, and take a couple of shots.
Do it. XC, since you're kind of stopping to see it, and instead of just running as madly as you can towards it, you also notice in the distance towards the fire fields and the farms, not only is there fire coming off of the plants. Several torches have been lit, and there seems to be a crowd mile or so away at this point, but coming in y'all's direction.
Amazing. One creature at a time.
Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Love that saying.
All right. Well, I'll take a couple of shots.
Do it.
These are going to be just standard shots at the moment. I'm not doing any sort of fanciness. Just want to get a gauge. So first shot. Oh gosh. That's only a 16 to hit. So I don't believe that hits.
As you fire into it, you notice that the bullet hit into the side of the creature, but it didn't seem to affect it at all, as if it didn't quite penetrate the thick hide.
All right, you know what? For my second shot, I'll load a magic stoned base one.
Okay. Are your normal shots considered magic, or do they have to be the magic stoned?
I believe.
I
the
think
answer is-
now they're magic, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, because they're infused.
From this
As
previous...
long as the weapon that's firing is magical, they do become like a magical fired weapon. Like same with arrows not being magical, if it comes from a magical bow.
His
So
gun
if
isn't
Xy's
magic
gun
yet.
is magic.
It-
Oh, okay.
It'd
Yeah,
be
it's-
magic gun, but yeah, repeating shot does make it in
Cool.
magic.
Yeah, he got something new with his level up that I think makes it magic.
Yeah, repeating shot. So then I'll
Perfect.
just fire another shot
Do it.
as it is. Gosh almighty.
Oof, same thing.
2 sevens. So those are both misses.
You shoot 2 shots into it. Ordell, you see 2 pellets slam into the side of this creature's hide. You wish you could tell XC that far away to aim for the face, but it's just not going through. Okay. As
I
it's
have a
going to go
Question,
to
Rybo.
answer.
So this is a weird. If I saw the first shot and I know the timing of XC's shots being the time we spent together, can I use my reaction to try and use my deflect missile to try and like throw this bullet into its head, take XC's shot and hit this thing off of it?
If you want to use an inspo, because that's not how the reaction works, but if you want to use an inspo to do that, I will trade for that.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, XC's bullets are very valuable, and that was a magical one. So yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Cool.
Do it.
As one
So
bounces
now
off of the hide, you roll into the ground and grab it and chuck it as hard as you can, trying to go up through the chin of this creature.
Hey Rybo,
Natty?
that's a natural 20.
Solid.
XC, do your bullet thing, because I don't know what your bullets do.
Let me double check one thing, because I think redirect arrow 5e.
Deflect
Sorry.
missiles.
Yeah.
You can use your
Deflect
deflection. It becomes to make a range attack with a monk weapon. It just says I use the whatever weapon it is. Deflect or catch a missile. You are hit by a ranged attack. When you do so, you take the damage from the attack reduced by 1d10 plus 12. If you reduce the damage to 0 and you have a free hand, you can spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack. It doesn't specify otherwise.
I roll my damage against you.
I mean, yeah, I'll take I'd be also taking a crit. Hey, well, or wait, no, I guess I wouldn't, because
So-
it becomes a crit because I have to do an attack with it.
So
I would
you
take a
catch
regular
the
damage
missile.
attack.
You catch the missile and make a ranged attack. So, without any bonuses, XC, how much damage do your bullets do? Is it a D8 or a D10?
Well, it's a D12, but it only does a D12 because of the velocity. So the actual bullet itself, when thrown like in a sling and that, is only a D4.
Well, we're going to treat it not as a slinged bullet because it's going to be a
Well,
ranged
then you
attack, so
get
it'll be a D12.
D12.
Yeah, so as it falls
And
to
it's
the
specified
ground.
a +1 item, so it's a D12 +1.
Cool. So
Okay.
roll a ranged, so dexterity based attack +1, and then the damage of D12 +1.
Oh, that was the 20 was the attack.
Okay, yeah, 20 hits then.
Because I don't have to roll the
Yeah, I'm
catch or
done, sorry.
anything. No, it's okay. Do you want XC to roll damage or me?
You.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be D12
oh my
plus
God.
dex +1.
Well, I guess that was worth an inspo. Who boy. The bullet total did 6 plus 4 for me, and then +1, so 11.
Hey.
I mean, it's better than my normal attacks, but who boy.
Rule
I rolled
man.
I rolled a
I like
4
it.
and a 2.
As you're
Sorry,
on
XC.
As you're on the ground,
Alright.
it seems to stop and roar towards XC, who's shooting at it, and Elijah, who have approached. You take this moment to grab the bullet off the ground and throw it as you see it go through one cheek and out the other of this creature. It did not like that, as it turns and looks towards you and screeches again. You can't hear it, but you're certain that it's not fun.
I just do. I can't hear you. I think I'm deafened. Because that feels very Ordell.
I think that's all you have, correct, XC?
Yes, but I will get you to roll at disadvantage to see if you can actually spot where the bullet came from.
For
Oh, me?
the
Or the
ghoulish thing.
For the ghoulish thing. And I'll give you a opposed stealth roll.
So its hearing is mega high, but with your silencer and the disadvantage, I rolled a 2, so doesn't know where it's coming from.
And I rolled. Oh look, it's a big roll. Definitely you don't hear it.
Yeah, no, not at all. Its hearing's it's got plus 15, but still not enough.
Oh my god!
It is a bat creature.
I mean, yeah, that checks, but also that's terrifying.
So that's why you had to have the 30 before on it finding you out.
Yeah, I get that.
So it goes to Ritter's turn, who pops at it. This time, Ritter does something that you all haven't seen yet. As Ritter reaches into his bag, he's like, bye. He pulls out an
Yeah, we've
arrow.
never seen him run away from us.
He pulls out an arrow that the tip of it seems to glow an almost brilliant blue in his hand. He fires one regular shot at the creature, which hits and creates the blue spectral version. And then he puts the blue arrow in, and as he fires it, you can see a spark extend from his bow over towards the creature as he shoots a lightning-based arrow towards the big boy.
Is a team's magic arrow?
All right.
I don't hear him saying no.
As the thing does not dodge, it is a lightning arrow. It fires into it. It shoots into the soul of this creature, and the blue inside almost expands like one of those Tesla coils inside a glowing glass orb. Lightning shocks all around the outline of this creature. It's still doing pretty good. As it goes to its turn, it doesn't really like Ritter, and it doesn't really like Ordell. So it's going to try and combine those two hobbies, and it's going to try and pick up Ordell. I need a strength save from Ordell.
Yep. It has disadvantage on me. Just a reminder of oh god. What's a 1 get me?
Oof. Okay. As
hey,
it
but
looks...
1 + 5, baby.
True. As it looks down towards you and over at Ritter, who fires into it, it grasps Ordell. And as it stands up on its hind legs, you really get the height of this thing, maybe about 30 feet tall. And it chucks Ordell over at Ritter. And you fly, soaring right towards him. You fly about as quickly as the bullet that you threw towards this creature flies towards you. And
that checks.
So the damage on this throw is 2d20 plus his strength.
Okay.
First d20 was not good for you. It was a 17. Second d20 was a 2. So that'll be 19. Okay. So you and Ritter take 27 damage as you fly towards him and land, smacking Ritter, knocking both of you prone onto the ground.
As a reaction, can Emma yell to get its attention?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
So
also, just want to tell you, I have exactly 27 hit points, so that sucks.
Solid. Yeah, so
like
as...
on the dot, 42 into 27, 69 health, baby.
Hey, Winter. How did you inspire Ordell earlier?
How did I inspire him?
Yeah, remember? You said you gave everybody...
I told him all about the death cult and how wonderful it was.
Ordell, as you fly through the air...
I lost those hit points, though, before. Because when it stepped on me.
Okay, got you. I thought I only did 10 to you then. or was it at full 11?
Oh, so I have 1 health actually.
Yeah.
Ha-ha!
So as you bonk skulls with Ritter, you think for a moment, God, but I don't want to not be able to see that cool death cult as you roll onto the ground, barely holding on to life. Ritter tries to get you up. You can tell he's saying some words, trying to keep you in the fight, but you can't hear what he's saying. As Emma, yeah, if you want to do that as a reaction, you yell at it.
Yeah, it's like a high-pitched whistle. Just
It turns towards you then, and like a horse with its back leg, it just kind of kicks at you with its other attack. Since you want to take its attention over Elijah. Your AC, correct me, is 18, right?
18.
It does hit you. So that is going to be 21 bludgeoning damage. So 42 bludgeoning damage.
Okie dokie.
That's a lot of damage.
As it kicks back at you, you barely hold on as it slams into the shield. You can almost hear like wood splintering, but you know it's your bone barely holding on to itself.
Yeah, because I look at the shield and I'm like, wait a minute, my shield's metal. It shouldn't make wood noises.
Goes gonk, and then they both look at the screen. It's a living.
After its turn, it goes back up to Emma. You and Elijah stand opposite this giant creature.
So right after this thing kicks, Emma finally drags her shield back and up, and she's created this rift underneath this creature, and it starts glowing with this like purple energy as you watch one arm just as a large spectral version of that undead storm giant appears with a sword emblazoned with the deity's symbol and a shield, and as it does, it rears back and goes for a swipe on the thing. I need a dex save from this creature.
Sounds good. What
As I'm
spell are you
doing-
casting?
Guardian of Faith.
That's what I thought. I love it that that's your guardian.
That was dope.
Okay, it does not pass.
With a
Low roll. It's
16, by the way.
dexterous,
I guess there's...
it
cool.
rolled
Then
low.
it immediately takes 20 radiant damage.
Solid. As this giant skeletal thing pulls itself up from out of the ground, it squares up against this ghoulish thing. It screeches before your skeleton doesn't even wait. As it screeches at it, the skeleton grabs the sword by the blade and hammers the pommel down into this thing as its head bounces off the ground. The radiant damage seeming to be particularly effective.
How far away is Ordell?
Now 50 feet.
Yep, out of my range.
I'm still up though. I have
So-
1 health.
That's
Also,
good
wait.
for
Oh,
me.
radiant damage is good. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I doubled it
Sunbolts are
earlier
good.
when you hit it.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like,
Um,
oh, I
As
should
it
have been sunbolting.
gets bounced off the ground, this thing's not looking particularly hot. It definitely looks pretty desperate at this point. But Elijah doesn't care. It's time to fight it as the sword erupts in a massive flame. Elijah swipes at it once and then brings it back into the creature from the backstroke for... Oof.
Is that an advantage for flanking? Do you do flank?
Yeah, we do flanking. Okay, that's... I rolled a 5, a 7, a 6, and a 2 for my 2 attacks with advantage.
Elijah, always at the ready with them good rolls.
What you're
Elijah...
saying is inspiration, right?
I don't want to use mine all the time. I didn't get as many from Intober. As they slice towards...
No one's jaded at all.
Oh, no, not at all. Not that I'm the only one who got the GFYs. As Elijah goes to slice towards this thing, the bat, as it spreads its arms, its wings knock Elijah onto the ground. Unable to do anything as Elijah spends his turn getting up. Ordell, you're up.
Yeah, I think Ordell's just gonna start throwing sunbolts now that the squad's rolling in and it's looking bad. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my exact distance around it, and I'm just gonna now just start decking it with radiant stuff. So I'm gonna take all 3 of my attackaroos.
Do it.
Yeah, that's hata. 1's a nat 1. That's okay.
Good.
But a 15 plus 7, and then a nope, just 1 hits. That was a 4. That's still Another 10 radiant damage. That's pretty good.
Beautiful. As you kind of have to limp yourself up, on one knee, you shoot out a jet of flame through your knuckles that slam into the side of this thing, creating a deep gouge as you begin to see blood pour out of the side of it. Radiant seems to be able to pierce the hide, definitely.
Hell yeah.
Ashrin, you're about 300 feet away, you and Winter.
So, in order to gain the 100 feet, is that my action and my bonus action, or is that just my...
So that'd be your movement and your action, assuming dash, unless you have something different that can allow you to go faster.
Nope, perfect. I want to cast Shield of Faith on Winter as my bonus action, and then do.
Oh, she is protected.
As Winter, you're running along, Ashrin, you reach over and just kind of grasp Winter by the shoulder, and in doing so, kind of cover her in this crimson energy that quickly fades away. And Winter, you just look a little bit shinier at this point.
Please tell me, Jackie, you just look over and say, "Don't die." Winter's like, "Why is everyone saying this?"
I'm trying not to die.
As you're running, Exy's like, "Remember, don't die."
No pressure.
For some reason, I want to tell Winter not to die. I think I'm dying, though.
The state of 1 is better than the state of 0.
So yeah, you Shield of Faith her and run. You're 200 feet away. Winter, what are you doing?
I continue to run.
Okay, sounds good. XC, you're still knocked prone, and not knocked, but laying prone and firing towards it.
And I was meant to have advantage on shooting, and I totally forgot about it. Awesome.
there we go.
I am going to fire a huge shot. Thematically, what's going to happen is that at the main portion of my gun, 2 little pieces of metal area are going to pop out, and you start hearing this whizzing sound as these 2 rotating pieces start whizzing up. It's going to help the bullet go even faster.
I'm picturing like in the coolest of ways, one of those automatic like football shooting machines.
Exactly like that.
Perfect. Or literal railgun.
And so I'm going to load a tape bullet, followed by throwing in, let's go 4 grit. Why not? And we're also going to -5 it to get +10 damage. So this is going to be a big shot.
Yeah, it is.
Thing's
Then I'm
about to
going
get
to roll
obliterated.
2 ones on, and it's going to be horrible. All right, Brie and Jakey, your dice don't let me down. Well, I think I'm going to stick with an 18. That's pretty good. So an 18 plus 11 is a 27 to hit.
27 definitely hits.
All right, and let's roll some damages.
And shoot, even at a -5 on that, you still hit.
Alright.
That's impressive.
Right.
Fun.
Well, this fight's been fun.
I should
Yeah,
keep showing these
GG,
rolls that are
GG
amazing.
easy. Do we level up again?
Single target things. XC's like, guys, what are you even doing? I got this. But you
Sorry,
send
I'm
2 rats at XC, and he's like, ah,
I'm screwed.
they'll get into my wiring.
I'd like to think XC is the Iron Man of the group. Can fight everybody, but then suddenly Paul Rudd's in your armor and you're screaming really loud.
Yeah.
All right, I believe I haven't missed anything. I haven't. That is a total of 90 damage.
Told you.
Magical
And I've
because
got
of
a
the
second
tape,
shot if I
correct?
need it. Correct. Oh, not only because of the tape, but also because
Oh yeah. Now you just have magical bullets. That's right. You do actually need it.
27 of that is necrotic. If that makes inflict wounds. If that makes a difference.
So it becomes necrotic, correct?
I don't
Mhm.
think inflict wounds
Yeah.
is it necrotic? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
27 of it.
Correct.
Okay, that does make a difference. As you shoot into the side of this thing, all
Does
of
it
you
look
hear.
like that 27 was more impressive?
Or less.
I fucking
27
love
was
being a
pretty
necromancer in this
bad, actually.
campaign.
It looks like the tape is stuck to the fur of this creature as it flies through it. Not that the tape was particularly evocative.
Winter, we
Is it
probably
still
shouldn't
up, by
protect
the
her as
way?
much.
It
Let you
is
come
still
back
up.
as something.
Well, then I will take a second shot.
Do it.
I love always that question of just like, oh, it didn't die from my bullet? Cool, I have a couple more. That just gets me every time.
So that's a 22.
Hits.
Alrighty.
Here's another 128 damage.
No, it won't be as much.
Look, Winter, y'all chose to help fight these things. You could have been best friends with vampires.
That's 13 damage.
I mean, I haven't
True.
decided yet. Winter becomes obsessed with power again. Fuck you
13.
guys.
Is it still up?
How much damage again?
1, 3, 13.
13. It is still up.
I will take an action surge and fight at
course.
this time.
Of course.
See, Bree's on the wrong side of things with the necromancy. She should be fighting, regular people.
There are regular people headed your way.
Oh. Well, 19's going to hit anyway.
Yep. Just go ahead and do your second hit at the same time. Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's 2 19s.
Yep. Good. Love it.
So that's 29 more damage.
Okay.
And as that fourth shot goes on, the barrel starts to get a bit red, and you hear the wind down.
Winter and Ashrin, as you're running by trying to get close to this thing, you see a kind of trail from behind the bullet, as this whole area is so humid and hot and warm from the fire. It's like cutting through. The second time you actually see the bullet, it's a slight red hue to it as the barrel is getting hot, and so are the bullets. The third time, however, you begin to see a bright red slug of iron go right over your shoulders. The fourth time, it is white hot as it flies.
XC has tracer rounds.
As it flies
Actually,
towards
I do,
this
but I
thing.
haven't used it.
Yeah, he does. This thing rears up and pulls its hands down, ready to go on a stomping tantrum towards Emma. Your guardian pulls it back for a moment, using its sword to prevent its arms from coming down. And as it's in the middle of this great wrestling match, Elijah pulls on the hair of it to help try and bring it down, thinking that's what your guardian is doing, before XC shoots at it 4 times. And you see 4 small holes with increasing in brightness bullets fly through the heart of this creature before it begins falling down. And you are currently pushing it backwards as it's falling towards Elijah. Elijah dodges, not a problem, as this great heavy thing.
I should ask my proper question. Is it still up?
It is not.
I will take a grit point back for that. Thank you.
No, there we go. As the group runs to catch up with each other, this thing falls to the ground. The Rangers, all with their bows and crossbows, had just sat down on one knee and were about to fire before the fires out towards it, destroying this ghoul-like creature. Now that it is paused for a moment, Winter, Ashrin, you run up with everyone else. Ordell kind of barely standing up. Ritter helps you get up, and he looks towards you and tries to speak. He like snaps a finger towards your ear, trying to see if you can hear anything.
I just shake my head at him, and Ordell pulls himself off of Ritter and storms off. He's going back towards our camp.
Do I see this?
Yeah, you can hear Ritter being like, can you hear? Are you okay? I was worried about you.
I run to Ordell, and I'm gonna catch him as he's running away. Like, I look at him, Ordell. Oh, and then I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration because I picked that up when I leveled up.
Perfect.
Ababu.
What
Oh
was
my
that?
god.
I just ababoom, and it happens.
You see her.
It was just one steady
Ah, ba-boom.
ring the whole time.
God, okay. I'm assuming you're talking like really loud, so I take a step back.
Oh yeah, immediately yells. And then Ordell just like kind of like rolls it. Thank you very much, Ashrin. We should all get back to camp because I think people are coming.
Hurt too. Let me help you there, and I'm gonna give him the rest of my lay on hands 35 points.
Ooh, solid.
Thank you.
We may need to rethink where camp is because it's not there anymore.
What happened? I was gone for just a moment before Ritter, now seeing you healed up, Ordell. Ritter, you think he's going to tackle you or admonish you, but he runs over and just bear hugs you, man. Just absolutely wraps around you, and he's like, before he pulls away, grabs you by the head and just says, "Don't die on me." Before he just kind of gives you the, "We got stuff to do." He is a different man. After he y'all destroy that first Cloudmaker, he has determination in him. He wants to keep you all alive, and he wants to destroy those things.
I think Ordell just like does that thing where he pushes his hands away and grabs Ritter's head and like pulls him down to his level because Ordell's a little shorter, and goes, "No, you don't do shit that's gonna kill somebody else or make us worry about you.
I was invisible.
We care about you.
You gave me the ring.
I gave you the ring, but who's to say they don't have ways of tracking that? That thing couldn't see us regardless. It could smell. Invisibility doesn't make you smell like nothing."
Can we argue about this somewhere safe? And I point to the things
Yes.
that are chasing us.
I agree.
Can I
Before-
have arrived at this time?
Yeah, definitely.
I look to Ordell. Please practice what you speak. You also running off have caused the same issues that he has.
I didn't.
That was to Ordell, not to.
Yeah, I know.
No, I know.
Ritter has a like. We need to go, but you need to know the tiefling woman is there.
Wait, who?
From
But
Emma's tiefling
From the
woman?
800 years ago, whatever it was.
no.
Oh.
Yes, Lucilla, the one that we met.
Immediately
Oh.
she stops her. Is she enslaved?
I saw her in one of the windmills. I think they were going to torture her. I just wanted to find out who was there and what was there.
Emma,
I wasn't
without a
going to-
thought, is now going towards the windmill.
Oh, God, why are we always running away?
And this like large lumbering like skeleton with just the two arms is just like following behind. 'Cause
As-
it's there for 8 hours.
At a
Is
brief.
it for 8 hours? Jeez.
Oh,
XT's
no, it's
gonna
awesome.
run up next to Emma and put its hand on Emma's shoulder.
Emma, you stop and
We are
turn.
better to regroup. This is not the way. Have we learnt nothing from today? Oh, look, I can rhyme like Rybonator. I
What's a
better do that later.
Rybonator?
You can rhyme now, or you can rhyme later.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
I do not wish to lose you again.
Whatever
This
we do, we have to do
conversation-
it for 8 hours.
Yeah, come on. Let's go. Let's go back. We met this rat guy. We should go back to his house.
What?
You met a
Ritter.
rat?
We'll explain on the way.
As you're all here, I do have a quick question, because one person already told me. Is anybody cashing in any inspos?
Yeah, let's do it. I never have this many inspos. Thanks, Inktober.
Intober. Solid. Ashren's cashing in 1 or 2?
I
I'm
guess
gonna
the-
cash
She has
one in
21.
case my party
Jeez.
might need extra inspos for stuff.
Okay. So
Selfless.
as far as total standing, Jackie's going to cash 1 in. So I'm going to write all these down as we sit here. So Ashren goes to 11 inspo now. Anybody else cashing in inspos? You all have at least 1. Okay.
I
Alex?
think did I go over it? If I didn't, I'll
But-
cash in as well.
Alex said
suppose.
that they were doing one earlier, so I'm going to also take that into account. So you said yes, Jakey?
Yeah, if I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey-
So you would go
hey,
down
Ryan.
to 1 inspo.
I just
Right.
saw Jackie said it. Your cam's off for us. Just by the
Oh,
way.
shoot. Why? Don't do that.
I'm not
Seems
sure.
like it turned off.
Yeah, there's
been a
like
while. Oh,
Yeah, we just let you keep going.
Oh, there we go.
The narrative was so rich, you know?
Yeah, you know. Okay, so Jackie, you moved down to 11 inspos. Alex, you moved down to 3 inspos. Make sure I have that right. Emma, you're not using one, and neither are you, Winter, correct?
No, I'm using one.
Oh,
Hell
you are
yeah.
using one. Okay.
I
Just
never
making
have
sure.
that many.
Brie, you're at 2, and then Emma, you're not, right? Okay. So I'm looking for character names, and the alphabetizing is messing with me. Okay. Perfect.
Also, I definitely used an inspo, so I think I'm at 0 now if I cash in. But just want to keep that honest because I think you said I'd have
Oh, yeah,
one,
yeah,
but I
that's
don't
right,
think I
that's
have
right.
any after.
Good point.
Yeah.
So Ordell, yep, you're at 0. Let me write that. Also, no, I'm not using an inspo, not here at least. I will save mine. So as you turn to look and run away, you all kind of walked briefly towards the windmill as you saw Emma going that way, unsure of what to do. But as you turn back saying, we need to go, we need to regroup, you look towards this thing. It has been alive for some time, and this is not the only battle that it has fought. There seems to be quite a few different things sticking out of this thing, weapons from old adventurers or
Cool.
foes that might have perished against it. Some of them catch your eyes pretty heavily. Ashrin, there seems to be a short sword sticking through the back of its neck, almost holding on a small chain-like collar that has once long been broken. It catches your eye as this short sword has a red metal pommel and cross guard with a Damascus blade that moves up it.
Ooh, I'm drawn to the red. It fits my aesthetic.
You grab it and pull it out of the creature and begin running forward. XC, you're not necessarily finding anything here. However, this fight in itself gives you inspiration on finishing the gadget you were working on the top of the hill, those goggles that you have been working. You know that this fight would have been far easier had you had them. The next time you get a moment, you know exactly what to do to finish that up. Ordell and Winter, however, this thing inside its hand and its palm, seemingly dug into it and caught in its furs from mangling and tackling, ripping apart old adventurers. Both of you, as you're running by, see 2 rings caught in the fur of this creature.
Oh, is it shiny?
There are a couple shiny things. One of them has a bright pearl on the end of it, and one of them has a glowing topaz, the kind of yellow gem.
I'm gonna reach out for the pearl.
Okay.
I'll reach for the topaz. I think we headbutt each other when we both go to grab him.
You do like
Or no,
a meat
would have
cute
been
with
low
your
health, would have died.
hands.
Yeah. Oh,
Wouldn't it be hilarious if you grabbed the wrong ring for each other?
So pearl for Winter, correct. Topaz for Ordell.
Mm-hmm.
sick.
Winter, as you reach in, it is a very simple ring, a very almost engagement ring, a very thin rose gold band with a large marble-sized pearl on the tip of it. Ordell, this topaz seemingly is almost the entirety of the ring itself. As you pull it out, it actually looks like this was carved out of a much larger topaz. The whole thing is one single piece. The finger slot inside of it has been just hollowed out for a single ring there. But you grab those quickly as you see a few things that catch your eye before deciding to run and get out of here and regroup. Where is the group heading as a whole?
I'm heading towards the rat cave.
I
Yeah,
look
probably.
at the all the casters in the party and ask if anyone has locate object. Rangers, clerics, should be 2nd level spell.
I do not. Ritter doesn't.
Emma's not gonna give you a response. She's just staring at the windmill, and normally she's just got that one like orb, like eye, but now they're both purple flames inside the sockets. She is mad.
Actually, I think tomorrow I'd be able to have that, but not tonight.
We will need it to locate the rat folk, most likely.
Emma, I'm sorry, but I think we need to think about ourselves right.
And what is wrong? Do you just need health? Is that it? Is that the only thing you need?
No, I mean, I think we've all used some slots one way or another, and you know, like our conversation back at camp is, should we really jump into things without a plan, or should we survey first and then act
Well,
on it?
clearly we don't, and we go and we risk our lives for our friends. Meanwhile, we leave other friends to die or get tortured. What is this?
We are not leaving them to die. I am sure if they were on death's door, Ritter would have informed us.
I have thoughts and a plan. Once we can regroup, I think that we can tackle this easily enough.
We are more likely to die if we run in one at a time, just like then.
I had no plans to do it. I planned on coming back. I wanted to see what they had. I wanted to, but I remembered our conversation. Ordell, remembered our conversation. Winter, Ashrin, Emma. I would not do that again without talking first. But I have a plan. Let's get somewhere safe, and we can talk it through then. But we need to leave. There's no doubt that they followed this thing's great sound.
Yeah, let's start thinking with our brains instead of our emotions all the time, guys. This isn't going to help us.
I don't think with my emotions, okay?
Whatever we do, we're doing it before 8 hours.
That's fine.
Okay, let's work as a team. We can't all just keep deciding that we're going to do different things and then agree on something and run away. Let's come with a solid plan. We can do this. Let's go to that random rat cave that we nearly blew up. He said it was right where we were camping. We can maybe get some explosives. You know?
You keep saying rat cave. Be more specific, Ritter. It's like, what are
A
you...
cave with a rat folk inside it.
Yeah,
Rat folk?
yeah. Like a person that's also a rat.
I've heard of stranger, I guess.
All right, let's boogie. Come on, guys.
I'm
It's
also
all...
I saw a sea of torches coming our way, so we should move.
Quickly then, as Ritter kind of picks up speed, some of the rangers pause for a moment before following a step behind. They're not entirely sure that this is how they go about their scouting and business, but they agreed to help and they're following for the time being. Elijah runs, sheath and sword in hand, following behind. You all try to get back to that cave as fast as you can. As Ashrin points out, once you get closer, you do see, as you're kind of beginning to go up the slope of the mountains, you see the torches now having surrounded the body of the ghoulish bat creature. It won't be long before they begin to track your whereabouts from the darkness and try and find you all. So whatever you're going to do, I wouldn't linger terribly long. That's not even a survival notice. That's just common sense. So there's no roll needed for that. Wouldn't linger too long, or I would at least make steps to cover your tracks in some way. But you begin to cross up towards the ridge line. As you do so, you find a rock platform coated in black soot and ash. It looks like some small explosion went off here on this rock.
Question before we get too far. Right, but you said this area has like lots of fire and stuff in it?
The fire fields do, but they're about 2 miles away from you at this point.
Oh, okay, we're too far then. Never mind. Sorry, I was gonna use my last burning hands or my one burning hands to see if I could burn our footprints. But if that's not a thing out here, never mind.
Yeah.
Ritter,
go ahead.
you're a tracker, right? Can you do some like sweeping stuff as we go?
I can, but there's so many of us. We create. But I'll do it and I'll be back. I'll try and do as best we can. Go find the cave. I'll find you. Ritter runs off. Rook says, "I'll help," before heading off to try and cover up tracks as best they can. The rest of you are up here on the side of this mountain face. Actually, we're going to say Rook and his whole crew go, as there's enough work there that would be better. And they're going to try and essentially create a stampede of footprints that lead away from here and mask all of your footprints. So it's Elijah and the 5 of you that are up on this mountain ridge line now. Some of you with new equipment as you look at these torches in the distance, and your ranger friends going back to try and cover your tracks. What are we doing?
Trying to locate the rat cave.
Go ahead and roll me investigation or survival.
Can I help
Yeah, absolutely.
with that?
You can have advantage on that, Asher.
Okay. Both 17s. Okay. Sorry, something or survival? What was it?
Investigation or survival.
Let's do survival. 21.
21. 21. I gave Jakey free reign to do any Vine references or quotes tonight with no GFYs. So, Jakey or Ashrin, as you get up to the rock here, you see a couple of small rat-like tracks into the soot, and begin following them off of the rock as you say, "Hold on, I think I got something. Come here." And you see them move into the dirt. Whatever this creature was, it wasn't trying to move very stealthy, as you can see its tail markings dragging along the ground, though a small and spindly tail that it is. You follow it through the rocks, climbing up just a bit from here. You can see it was in a small cave directly overlooking your camp. Not much was done in the way of preventative measures to make sure that nothing was watching you from the mountains, just from the fields. This thing, if it wanted to, could have smeagoled you in the night, but luckily it seems to have been not interested in that. As you follow up to the rocks, you begin to see the opening of a small cave here. There are no lights inside, but you can hear what sounds like scurrying and pitter-patter inside of there. Do you go around the corner to take a look?
Am I with Ash at this point?
Yeah, you're all kind of behind. Ashrin was just leading because she was doing the tracking.
Belch!
What the fuck is up, Belch?
I hate it here. As when she says, "Belch, what the fuck, Belch?" As quickly, now clothed, you see Belch with a small old staff of sorts that he is using, that he walks over with. He's wearing what look to be like blacksmith type leathers as a coat. He's taken a blacksmith's apron and cut 2 holes in it and made like a vest, as well as some very small leather pants. He holds his amulet on the outside of it. Now that you get a better look at him, as he rounds the corner and says, "You're actually here. Okay, let's come into my cave." You get a better look at it. Everybody roll me a religion or history, whichever is higher.
Does he
No,
freak
I don't
out
think I
because
will.
of the giant skeleton following behind us?
Doesn't seem to.
Okay.
25.
25.
18.
87. Emma Ordell? 5. Emma?
It's gonna be a 25 with a natural 20.
Ooh.
Oof.
Winter, Emma, and Ashrin, you all, of course, having lived in Asterion for a while, who could possibly ignore the golden dragon upon the amulet with sapphire and ruby eyes? This rat seems to have an amulet that belongs to a follower of the golden god. Whether he stole it, you're not entirely sure. This rat looks and says, come into my cave." As you turn around, you are greeted with the sights of... he's not exactly a hyperbolic man or a person that likes to brag about what he has. As you see into the opening of this cave mouth, it's maybe a 20-foot by 20-foot cave, nothing particularly amazing. However, the whole of it is completely lined with red painted barrels with 3 X's in yellow marked upon them. There are small crates onto the side with small sticks of dynamite, as well as empty iron husks for grenades and other explosives. As he says, hold on! Is your fire the hot kind?" As he looks to Emma.
Emma's actually gonna stay outside of the cave.
That's probably
right
best.
at the entrance.
Good, yes, stay out there. And you, what about yours? Looking at Ordell.
I'm gonna stay outside too because I really have to fart as Ordell like walks out.
Second
look
good reason
to
to stay outside.
Belch and just go, "What are those?"
Explosives. I said I had some. I'm very good at it.
Right, got it. Making sure.
Oh my god, I just got the what are those? I hate you. Never mind. I shouldn't have said no geopods. I'm so dumb.
You did this, Ryan.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Shit, Belch, you weren't lying when you said you have a lot of explosives.
Yeah, well, I said I did, and I do.
Yeah.
I want to take out the big thing in the sky. I want it gone. I didn't come from the underground to not be able to see the sky. It's rude. He doesn't own the sky.
Belch, I think we're going to get along really well. That's exclusively what we're trying to do right now. We've already knocked out 2 in other parts of the country.
I prayed for this for a long time, you know. I've been asking for help to get me into there to do this. I told you I'm very good with explosives. But then I thought my prayer was unanswered when that one shot me and I blew up. I was really afraid the whole cave had blown up, but the explosion was not that large.
Maybe the Golden God was just testing you, you
Alex,
know?
you're
like-
muted. Continue, Winter, but Alex is muted.
You know, like giving you a sign that this could be an explosive relationship.
He
I
does
did
that
not
so
hear.
often then.
If you were
Mhm.
shot, you would have felt it.
Hey,
I felt
Yeah.
it very good. I died.
how I
Allow me
actually
to demonstrate. And I pull out my gun.
Please
Oh,
don't.
oh.
Please don't. Well, I'll die here. I'll be fine, but you won't be. That's bad for you.
Belch,
Yes.
can you please explain how you died and then came to not be dead?
Well, I saw your friend do it to you down there. He told you not to die, and you didn't. I tell myself not to die all the time, and then I don't.
Oh. What? Do I know about that spell? Because I didn't
Belch
know
says-
what Emma did to me.
Small skeleton on fire. Not big one. Small skeleton. Please. Hello?
What?
You told the one with the black makeup not to die, right? And then
Mhm.
I do that. How I don't know how to explain it. I just ask and I don't.
He had a death ward on himself.
That's a good descriptor for it. A ward against that. I like that.
Oh, how often can you do that?
Oh, I've pretty often. I don't know how many times in one day. I've never counted.
So if we could get you into the cloud machine, then you could blow it up and then you could walk out even though you should be dead.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Oh, Belch, you need to come places with us, my friend.
To be fair, I did the same thing on the last one, and I still ended up dying.
That's true.
But you're fine. You're here. Do you worship the same God that I do?
No.
Well, then how do you do that? No other God has done this for me. I've tried so many. I've tried the God of murder. I tried to serve him. He did not like it. I tried to serve many, but this one, he gave me a great gift. I met him as he holds his. He has the 2 rat-like teeth. You can see that they are coated in gold, as if he had teeth replacements. It's very nice.
They're really cool teeth, Belch.
Thank you. But that is not the point. You want to build things up. I want to build things up. I just need to get in there. My biggest problem is once I build things up, I have to come get more explosives, and so I can't kill them one at a time. They bring too many people here too often.
Oh, see, we also are good at blowing things up. So if we all blow things up together, then it should be a lot more effective.
Perfect. This is great opportunity. I do worry. Are you going to shoot me again, Metal One?
I have not shot you.
You shot at me. Are you going to shoot at me? It's disastrous.
There is no need to at the present time.
Good. Okay, we're very good then. Well, we have the same goals. We go do them. We blow up the big tower. I see the sky again. Good. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
We were going to come up with a plan, I believe.
We
right?
just came up with
I
a
know.
plan. You take too long. Let's go. Come.
I agree with the rat.
Thank you.
Uh,
That makes sense. Make good sense. As he goes over, grabs one of the iron casings, he tapes it essentially with this kind of glue-like paper onto the end of his staff, and puts a small sparking fuse that you recognize, XC, there. He seems to put this on the end of the staff so that he can whack something and blow both him and whatever it is up.
Can we just slow down just a little bit? Not too much, Emma, I promise, but it's just that the last time that we went in with like not much of a plan, and just a general idea of a plan to blow up one of these weather stations, you almost got sucked up into an empty tube, then you burned to death, and then there was a giant explosion, and we almost all got crushed by a phallic shaped tower. So
Good point. Ordell, what was the plan you had for when you blew up yours?
I'll be honest, I made it seem really cool earlier. We just kind of went in and did stuff, but there was a lot of screaming and crying the whole time. It was fast.
I just give this kind of like look back to winter.
We made it up as we went, though, so I mean that counts for something.
Okay, well, I think that we've demonstrated that can have two very drastically different results, because we did the same and it was awful. So how about we just lay out exactly what everybody's part is, so that we don't get confused and then have to save one another. And plus, we have to wait for Ritter to come back. He hasn't even come to the cave yet. He'll be very confused if we're like, clean up our tracks, and then also now we're gonna walk back through the places that you cleaned up.
I'll make my role easy. I'll stay on the outside and murder.
We have just created a perfect distraction. If we take a short period of rest to allow the enemy to increase their search radius, which then thins out their herds, we should find an easier way to enter and approach the center column, because they will have most of their troops in a larger radius further away.
I don't agree with that plan. If I'm going to blow anything up, it's better that they're together. Otherwise, they're going to have to wait, and they're not very polite.
Might not be able to get in.
He kind of seems to keep grunting as he thinks to himself there for a moment.
Wait. I mean, our bag of holding can hold a lot of stuff. If we just put our stuff on our person or keep it somewhere safe, who's to say we don't load a couple barrels and black powder in? Because when you flip it inside out, it all just pours out.
Yeah, I have... Hold on. He runs over. He reaches into a small box and sets it up there. This one seems very light as he sets this wooden crate onto a side of a rock there. As he pours out about 6 small leather bags. So he says, yes, I have more.
You just have a bunch of bags for bombing?
Yes, I'm not very strong. I can't carry these on my own.
Dab me up, my man. That's sweet.
Yeah, it's very good. See ya. Before he goes to it, he goes, again, is your fire hot?
Ordell extinguishes himself.
Then he jumps up and taps. He says, it's very good.
So what if we had kind of a combination, you know, like we had some people that drew everyone out, so that there's a smaller amount of people in the cloud machine, and then we could have like a sneaky team that sneak Belch in, go boom boom, and then we murder from the inside out.
Makes sense to me.
I'll be a part of the outside team.
Too scary to go inside. I understand. I wouldn't want to be in there where it blows up.
Well, the last time I did that, I died, so...
Me too!
I mean...
I can't die today, right? That's how this works. I'm just invincible today. Is that
8
right,
hours, which
Yes!
is why I'm trying to get us to go.
Well, and I can
I've
make
wasted enough spells today.
I can make fire, so I could go as a part of the inside team with you, Belch.
Okay, we go in. Elijah says, I'm not going to be much use outside unless we're fighting. I'll help you make your way in.
Same. I could give Belch a piggyback ride.
Okay, that's nice of you.
He
I
used to
can
give
help.
me piggyback rides. It's really fun.
I can help
Perfect.
inside crew too. I can fly because of my amulet.
Oh.
Nice amulet, by the way, and almost the same. But no.
Oh.
Anyways,
Thank you. Yours has way more heads than mine.
yeah. Where'd you get that, by the way?
I prayed, and then he gave it to me. So I'm a big fan. Free stuff.
Free stuff. Right.
Well, it was.
I feel like oh, after you.
Oh no, that's all he says. He goes, "It was. I prayed. He gave it to me. Now I pray to him all the time. He loves it."
I feel like as he's bragging about like how he just prayed and got it, I think Asherin, Elijah, and Ordell all share the same look. Like, yeah, it's all right. Also, Emma, just like, yeah, it's so cool when our gods are just straightforward. Hey, just very much like.
Look, he says, "I like him. He likes me. We like each other back. We're good buddies."
Let us prepare, and I sit down to have a short rest while we wait for the rest of the crew.
Same.
Perfect. He says, "If you're
Burning
going
all my hit dice.
to sit, I don't have a fire. It's a very bad idea. I don't know where the black powder leads. It could make its way back up. I'm very surprised it didn't blow up earlier, but it's very good. Sit, rest here. No one knows cave is here. They may from explosion. Let me go look."
How?
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. How big are his bags of holding they have? Or are they not bags of holding? Was he just like goofing around and they're just leather pouches?
They're bags of holding.
And he just has 7 of them?
6.
Oh, okay, 6. Okay. I mean, do we want? I guess we should probably keep ours then with the gear in it. And yeah, I guess Ordell's just gonna go around.
Not only does it have gear, it has bodies. It has a whole bunch of things
Yeah.
that
got a lot.
probably should stay in the bag.
Yeah, so I'll just I'll give the normal bag to Emma. And then Ordell's just gonna start loading up bags of holding with black powder and stuff. Because I mean, push comes to shove, Ordell just ignites himself, and that's one big explosion that I'm fully resistant to.
So do you steal some of his bags of holding?
No, I asked him if it's cool if we start loading them and stuff because he wanted to be a part of the plan. Like I'm doing this right in front of him, asking like, "Hey, is this cool if we start loading these with black powder?"
Oh, I'm pretty protective over my things. Mostly because most people don't know how to use them. They blow them up. They have never come back when that happens. I feel very bad about it when it happens. I would prefer to keep them, but I will go with you. That's the plan anyway.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh.
we're not gonna like take them forever. I just wanted to blow them with black powder,
That's
give
what
you the
we're doing.
piggyback ride, so you're right by the bags. Yeah.
Yeah, all of these are full.
So this all stuff around here is just excess.
Yes, I had to carry this by hand. I'm looking for another bag.
That's
Belch,
cool, my man.
I like you, Belch. You fire good.
Very good, actually. That's my thing. But
Okay. So inside crew we have me, Belch, Ordell, and Ashrin and Elijah. That's a pretty heavy inside crew. And then outside we've got Emma, Xe, Ritter, and the Rangers.
It's an even split.
Okay.
I'll be back. As he climbs up the walls and begins going up and out the upper part of the cave to go take a look and see what's going on.
I mean, I think it's good that we're like more like loaded from the inside because the more people eventually like I know we always say like don't split up and stuff, but these are big devices and people are gonna need like multiple jobs. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
have to we'll probably need to probably load up to get inside and then have people just get farther and farther. If it's one person staying in the hallway to make a full chain so we can all just keep grouping, it is what it is. Also, Belch is dope. Can we keep him?
I think we should keep it.
Hell yeah. I doubt
Light
we
Spire,
do.
maybe he'll even change over to my god. I mean, it's basically what we do.
That's true.
I'll explain to him the flames. I'm sure he'll see
Maybe
our
he'll
way.
want to join the death cult.
You should stop inviting people to a death cult.
I disagree.
How's the death cult stuff going, by the way?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
Looking to expand, you know,
During
spread the word.
Yeah. Early stages. Yeah.
Yeah.
PR stage. I get you.
Can bring whatever god you want, as long as you know, are into death.
Yeah. You're at the phase where you gotta, one person gets 2 people, and then those 2 people each get 2 people, that kind of thing. No, I know how it starts. I get you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm. Girl boss, gatekeep, and gaslight. I know.
Yeah. It's it's kind of like a tower,
Mm.
system.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. Yeah, it totally makes sense. No, because here's the thing, like if you invite people and they invite 2 people, like that's like 40 people right there. It's just great. So it's
good
quick
for
math.
everyone. It's good for
Mhm.
everyone.
Completely beneficial. And honestly, like I think like the people above too on the higher parts of the tower really get to reap the reward from those lower on the tower. So I just, yeah,
Leave this conversation and go stand next to Emma.
So the earlier you get in, the better. Anyway, Belch has real death cult material. Let's go.
We
Give me
cannot
one.
leave until the rest of the trackers return.
Yeah. And then let's go.
I'm sure they can't miss where the cave is. And Emma gestures up at the
I am
large
sure
spectral
Odell will
skeleton.
appreciate the mechanics of a short rest and get some hit points back.
Yes, Ordell would love that sweet, sweet hour.
So during this time that you were talking to Belch, you were, being that you're kind of relaxed, you were kind of already taking part in a short rest, and as he goes off, that's also part of the short rest. During this time,
And
those
I was
of you,
obviously explaining to him the mechanics of the death cult, so he gets 11 temporary points. And
Ooh.
so does Odell.
good.
So my first 2 rolls for a short rest are 8 and 7. Let's keep it up. 7. Can I do it again? 6. Okay. 3. Not great. And then 6. Okay. I'm just gonna use that many, I think, with math.
So as those of you who got or created magic items during this brief short rest, Exy, with your final realization of what you needed to complete yours, why don't you describe to everybody what your thing is, or if you want to keep it a bit of a secret, you can.
Well, considering it's not completely finished, how about we describe it when it's used the first time?
Okay, sounds good. All of you notice Exy finishes up some. Can you give a description of it, even if you don't say what it does?
Of course. So it looks like an apparatus of lenses or something similar that is placed above or over the top of his standard Oculus receptacles. And they look like they can change in and out.
Oh, like sniper's goggles from Dota.
Perfect. As
Cool.
Exy is finishing that up, the rest of you are getting to take a look at your magical requirements, and during this short rest, attune to them if you'd like. Roll me an Arcana check for each of you. And if you ask somebody else what they do, if you are like, I'm not really sure, Winter, do you know what this is or does? You can do that and have them make a roll as well. Or if you're trying to keep it kind of to yourself, then that's totally fine as well.
Winter and I both found the rings together, so I'll just do the help action and sit with Winter, like, because she knows more about magic than Ordell does.
Cool. Then yeah, Winter, you can roll for both of yours.
Okay.
I got an 18.
18, good.
I got a 25 on mine.
And then for Ordell?
I got a nat 1, so 9.
At advantage?
But advantage, though, because giving you help action.
Yep.
Two
I
nat
rolled 2
ones?
ones.
Oh.
I rolled 2 ones.
Cool.
Wait, I'll use an inspiration. I'll use an inspiration because
Oh.
it's not for me.
Oh.
Oh, that's better. So that's 27 instead.
You'd think that I would give you one back for being generous, but you all got so many. You're fine.
I have 1 now.
27, solid. So, Winter, as you look down at the 2 rings, you look at the pearl and you look at the topaz before you wish you had a fire. That would give you such a faster insight into these things for how they change and being able to look at the light like that is always helpful when you're looking at arcane things. However, you realize I kind of have one. You have Ordell go just stand outside and make a tiny flame on his head for a moment. As you look through it with the topaz, you see the flame seems to almost lasts inside the topaz image a bit longer than you would expect it to. It's like a ghostly trail behind it. Whatever is in there is almost amplified. You recognize that the magic that Ordell would be able to produce might be able to produce even more of it through the use of this ring. Ordell, this topaz ring adds 2 to your maximum key.
Ooh.
Oh, that's sick.
As you're like, okay, but look at mine. As you move it back over, you're like, yeah, that's good for you. But you take a look at his flame on his head, and you just try and see the reflection of it in the giant pearl of this engagement ring. It might be bad luck to hold an engagement ring. However, as you turn the pearl, you begin to see the color of the flame shift tremendously, like through a prism. You're certain that if you were to wear this ring and send your magic through it, you could change whatever type of magic that damage would be.
Oh, like Rothamir's scribe ability.
Oh,
That's cool.
Just great for our necromancer.
I'll stop complaining about how I only do necromancy.
You complained earlier. I'm like, I've given you such good things, such a good staff, and you have this other magic item coming up, but okay. Ashrin, you sit alone in one of the corners for a moment, taking a look at your blade. The red on the metal seems to have been heated to a specific color so that it is permanently... I'm blanking on the forging term, but heated to that. I'm blanking on the term, but it is a permanent red. It is not a dye. The whole metal has been turned that color. The pommel in itself has a teardrop on the bottom of it with black leather. The guard in itself moves upwards, almost like a twisting vine, before a Damascus blade moves upwards. Before, in your head, you drop it the second you recognize what this blade is. You've seen these before. As the blade clanks on the floor, everyone stops and turns at you for just a moment. You recognize this as a short sword of your people. This is a Crimson Elven short sword. This is a powerful, powerful blade that can do a lot of good or a lot of bad depending on who's wielding it. They're only ever given to the Crimson Elves who deem themselves to be royal guardians. This is marked with a crimson etching in ancient Elvish. The weapon takes the life force of its wielder and amplifies the damage of its attacks. It functions normally as a +2 short sword, but you can take your own blood and take 3 off of your maximum hit points in order to permanently add +1 damage to this weapon. This bonus may be removed by removing the etching, and the wielder's HP will return to normal, but you can add any number of marks to this weapon that you want.
Worth it.
Yeah,
Put it
I
in
drop
chat.
it, and thank you.
Yep.
I drop it and I am in shock, but also like a wave of relief goes over me because probably a bad person lost their lives to drop the sword. So yay me!
Oh man, but a Nazi died, so this is kind of good, you know? I mean, look at that. Man, that's
Yeah.
an old German revolver. But hey, Nazi's probably dead.
We come back. Ashrin has 6 max HP. Like could just outright obliterate everything.
That'd be kind of great.
That's 5 more than she needs.
Can I also quote a vine without getting a GFY?
We'll see.
Don't fuck with me! I've got the power of God and anime on my side!
I love it.
That was a good one.
So no, I won't give a GFY because it was perfect. So yeah, you see the sword before you before picking it up once again. It's got a beautiful black leather scabbard to go along with it that was kind of dangling off of the pommel. The teardrop you recognize now is not a teardrop on the bottom. It is a blood drop, symbol of your people.
Well, here we go, and I'm just gonna stay with it and attune to it
Perfect. All of those are must be attuned to items, just FYI. If you're keeping track of how many attunement items you have, 3 is your max. Just remember. So, as you're finishing up this rest, healing yourselves, reallocating spells, whatever you need to be doing, you hear some pitter-patter at the top of the stone cave before Belch lowers himself down and just kind of gently to the ground. His demeanor has changed. His tail is tucked between his legs as he kind of gently walks over and says, Okay. So, I'm not very good at... I was the youngest of a litter of 40. I never had to learn how to give bad news. So
I like
how
to do
would
the
you
shit
like
sandwich.
the news?
Yeah.
Would you like it
Shit
gentle or
sandwich.
direct?
No,
What-
just say it. Just say it, Belch. What is
There is
it?
no good or bad news, just news.
No, this is bad news. Your friends are out there.
Yes.
I did not see one of them, but I saw the other 5.
Well, he goes invisible.
I hope so. Please come with me. He reaches over and grabs one of the bags and puts it inside of his coat. He begins to walk out the cave very kind of solemnly with his tail between his legs still.
I follow Belch.
Winter follows. What's everybody else doing?
Follow.
Perfect.
Thanks, Emma.
Emma, you following?
Is he just going out of the cave?
He's going out and over to the ridgeline to where you can see out into the field.
Okay, I'm already out of the cave anyway, so I'll just go with.
So as you all walk over to the ridgeline, he pops up and sits on the rock as he points outwards, and he says, just kind of scratching the back of his neck. You don't see what he's talking about at first. The torches have since disappeared. There's a small group of them seemingly heading back towards the windmill, a few heading towards the Cloudmaker itself. But we do see maybe a couple 100 feet away with a small fire, almost like a bonfire, onto the ground. It looks like sticks at first before you recognize it as bones. You see 5 spears with skulls down to their jawbone sticking out of the ground. One of them seems to have some sort of necklace dangling off of the jawbone into the field. He says, yeah, they were with you earlier. I'm sorry. I don't see the one who had skin, though. I don't know where he is. I'm sorry.
So it's showing. We see that all the rangers are dead.
You see the rangers'
And-
unwilling skulls on spears in the ground, with their bones being kind of tossed into small makeshift bonfires in the distance. And then you see what seem to be split off crowds heading back towards the tower and back towards the mills. They're way off from where you're at now, but yeah, heading away.
The crew that wandered off, so they would get them off our trail.
I think so. I wasn't there. I don't know who said what, but the others that were with you, they're there.
Well,
I
they're
can
off our trail, I
confirm.
guess.
They are all 5.
Say again?
Is
I can confirm it is all 5 of them.
But I do not see the one that was in black fighting with you down at the big Vargul.
I do
Yeah.
not see him either.
Emma
Maybe
setting
that's-
down the skulls.
Emma starts walking down. He says, "Just be careful. I don't know who's." Okay, yeah, he's going to go, or she's going to go. I don't know. Skeleton's hard to read. As he kind of just mumbles to himself there, seemingly used to talking to himself and himself alone. As Emma starts walking down towards the spears, towards the base of the mountain range. What's everybody else doing? Staying behind, letting Emma go. Emma.
And next to Emma, of course.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Xy's
follow.
going to follow then. Ashrin following as well. Winter or Del.
Ordell's gonna go back in the cave and start grabbing bags of holding because I think this is gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back for Emma. So Ordell's just gonna grab as much stuff as he can right now and get ready to go.
Winter
lot.
just sits down with her head in her hands on the ground.
Elijah goes to walk and follow Emma before he turns and sees Winter sitting on the ground before he looks back and kind of kneels down in front of you, Winter, and he says, This is not where we die. Come on, little one." He kind of like pats you on your shoulder as if to get you to stand up. He says, "Not having more people die here. Come on."
Told him to go.
They would have done it. I would have done it. You would have done it to protect anyone else. This is not where we die. We don't stop here. We've got more to do.
She just kind of lets Elijah pull her up and follows him.
Come on. As you stand up, he begins to walk you back toward the cave, following Ordell. You're moving very slowly. He kind of has to have his hand like on your back, just kind of pushing you forward and keeping you moving, thinking that this is going to help you rather than letting you sit. He wants you to not dwell, but use this, essentially, and not have to stare too much at it. Emma, Ashrin, and XC, you walk down towards the pikes and see the skulls hanging there, the little bits of hair sticking off of Rook's pike, flowing kind of in the wind now as smoke begins to bellow up from these small flames. You see a necklace that you recognize, just like the ones given to you back in Cavity, a necklace with the symbol of Ignis wrapped around the jawbone of Rook.
Emma's gonna grab Rook's skull and the skulls of the other 4, and she's gonna put them in the bag of holding.
Emma stows them away before sealing the bag up. You still have the amulet kind of draped either in your hand, or if you just let it fall onto the ground, then that.
She's gonna take the amulets and she bunches them all together and she tosses it up back towards the spectral skeleton, and it goes and it clasps it and just crushes them as it falls to the ground. And Emma just starts walking back towards the town.
Asher and XC, you stop and look at each other for a moment before you see Emma moving towards the small farm community with the windmills away from the camp. Not in a great hurry, but with a determined, slow pacing.
Where is Ritter?
Don't know.
Oh, right. I look around for Ritter. Ashrin probably would have forgot that too, and just, damn. Could use his plan.
Perception for me.
17 plus 21.
You notice in the distance, you see the group heading towards the tower is a smaller group than the larger group heading back towards the farms. In the distance, though, with their lights, they do illuminate things. You don't see that they have anybody with them.
Well, I look to XC. No sign of Ritter. And I just start following after Emma.
Hey Ryan, can I
Yeah.
see if there is a potential invisible person around me?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a perception.
As this is happening, you notice that the contraption around XC's eyes starts to change color and glows a bit greenish. And that is
That's so cool.
16 plus 7 is 23.
23. You look in the distance, trying to find anything, any sign of Ritter that he might have been able to use his ring and escape. Looking around, you don't see anyone or anything. You look towards Emma, look towards the barn, but this is kind of reassuring in that you don't see anybody being carried away. You don't see anybody invisible who maybe perished in the fight and died invisibly. So you're certain that you are alone.
I look back to Ashran. I am unable to see him at this stage. I do not think he has perished.
Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, well, we can only hope, and I don't want to have Emma get any further than she already is, so I'm gonna start jogging. Catch up to Emma.
XC doing the same? Ashran,
Emma again.
it doesn't take much. It's kind of that quick little jog to catch up next to Emma. But you do not stop, Emma. All of you seem to be on this path of anger. As Ordell, Winter, and Elijah get back to the cave with Belch in tow, Winter, your solemnness is palpable as you approach, but Elijah stops and he kind of turns you to face him as he gets down close to you and your height. As he says, if anything happened to them, I promise you, we will purge them. More than just in the flames. The gods themselves will not let this happen. This is some vile magic above us all. But we're here. We're the light in this dark. You and I. Let's go through. Let's make it right. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Let's make it right.
Let's make it right. Let's put it back to the flame. So he gets up and goes over to help grab any of the explosives necessary. He looks over to you, Ordell, and kind of gives you that she's going to be okay look as he goes and grabs a couple of sticks to hand over to Belch, who opens up a few more pouches just to throw a little bit more in there. And he lobs a few of those kind of iron casings in his side as he says, I don't know them, but I often find that vengeance is very good, and I'll help you get it.
Ordell, while packing the bags, didn't know anyone was going to follow. He's been like full body crying the whole time, just like thinking about like their whole like destroying the thing together, how they were like a full team. And as he's spoken to, Ordell just kind of stops and gets really still and glances over his shoulder with, as opposed to that red flame, but like a yellow in his eyes. We will get revenge. And he seals his bag shut.
Elijah nods solemnly before Belch looks up and he looks back to Winter and says, oh yes. Yes, we will. Before, that seems like a solid place to stop for tonight. It is right on time, so thank you to those who are watching. Let's go ahead and do that giveaway to see who wins the token. I think this token will be particularly desired. Elizabeth, congratulations on the token. This is the token of the advantageous. Pick someone. Next episode, they have advantage on everything. Might come in quite handy. We've done one of these before, but it definitely will be very handy. Or you can save it, use it at a different one. This was a fun episode. quote unquote, but it was a good one. I enjoyed it at the very least. But Elizabeth, if I don't see them on here, we need to let them know that they won the token and can use it either next time or anytime. But next time's a good one.
You don't have to use it next time, but next time it'd be good.
Yeah, do whatever. Awesome. Well, sorry for the somber note and ending, but tomorrow or next... Oh, we did also want to mention... Oh, man. They're going to be mad. Can I use my reset note now to get rid of Jakey's GFYs? Yes, we can totally do that. But one thing we wanted to mention before I talked about it with Alex and Brie and Jackie's going to be gone next week. It's Thanksgiving. We think we might just take the next week off just for everybody to be with their families and do stuff. But then we'll come back the week after that. We'll confirm that in the Discord, but that's probably going to be the plan. So everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving and come up with plans for vengeance, because I'm sure the party will do them all. So thanks.
Right now it's like
3, 2, 1, it's jam.
Also, I'm just uploading the doodles now.
Ooh, and I already saw one and it looks great. So go check out what that, since nobody knew, a Varghoul looks like, because Jakey nailed it.
Friendsgiving. Don't forget, I think we're doing that in the Discord. So if you want to take part of Friendsgiving, I think we're doing that as well.
Boom, Friendsgiving. Go check that out. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Thanks everybody for watching. Love you. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Love you.
Happy Thanksgiving.